see you guys then. I will see you Monday for Mob Deep Monday at 9 p.m. All you football heads, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 for Great Matter. Each time for Big with Ticket, it's time to make your music better. Welcome to what I call the Dower Hours. Like my motherfucking theme song.
Joe the engineer.
333. Live from New York.
One of the dopest engineers.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Joe the engineer.
333. Live from New York. R.I.P.P. 333.
Joe the engineer.
Hold it down for the king. 333.
Joe the engineer. Where the fucking weed at?
I can smell it in the air, Joe in that next room sparking.
What up? What the fuck is up? What up? It is Gray Matter, and I'm flying solo until Kerry decides to pop up, Nice decides to pop in, or Rodgers decides to slide through. So, been a while since I done a solo run on Gray Matter, but it's all good. This is what I can do. I can sit here and talk the entire fucking time. Doesn't matter. What up, everybody? As with Gray Matter tradition, I'm straight from the golf course to the lab. And, fucking hyped, y'all. I'm hyped. If y'all played golf, you would understand. Hey, I don't have to do it by myself. Roger Harper, what up, homie?
What up with you, homie?
Oh, shit, I'm fucking hyped, son. I'm hyped.
That's what's up.
You already know, so on Tuesday it's become a tradition. I go straight from the golf course to Gray Matter.
I know that's right. How'd you do today?
Well, let me see if you can see that number at the end. Ooh, you see that?
The 26?
See that right there?
Oh, okay. The 64?
67.
Oh, 67. My eyes is bad. And I wear glasses.
67 went 3 under today, son.
Oh, that ain't bad. That's actually pretty good, man.
Yeah, I was getting busy today. I'm back. I used to be really good at this game, but then, I wasn't so good for a long time. Now I'm back. My shoulder's feeling good. I can hit the ball again.
Damn, that's what's up.
Hell yeah, man. That shit was fucking dope, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. My son's getting graduated, so that's a blessing. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, what's next then?
Trade school.
What's he want to do?
Like he got electrician job lined up. Apprenticeship.
Listen, man, ain't no point going to school put yourself $200,000 in debt.
Yeah, exactly. Mindset.
Sally Mae will be my mistress for the rest of my life.
And he smokes the ganja, so you know.
I think everybody does at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yo, so Roger Harper, what's up in the sports world this week? Biggest news for us football heads is Julio. The Julio news is so big that people stop talking about it, Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah,
they don't know. What I don't get is why didn't they make a trade for some draft capital? Like, the draft just happened.
missed that opportunity.
They missed that opportunity to get some draft capital because, people are essentially prisoners of the moment. That's why I put all those candy bars at the right before the cash register. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're in the draft, I feel like you can get more for Julio on draft day than you will in future draft picks.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because I don't know if you saw it, but Shannon Sharp called Julio on the phone.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
All right, so it finally came out that Julio didn't know he was on camera.
Wow.
He didn't know. Like that news wasn't really supposed to come out yet.
Wow. Wow. Well, he put him on blast on that call, did.
Oh boy, did he ever! You're supposed to be like, yo, we're live on air.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't say none of that.
None of that. He just, he picked up the phone. And he said, yo, what's up with Atlanta? That was it.
Yeah, he set him up.
He set him up for that one, so he probably burned that bridge. If I'm Julio, I'm never talking to Shannon Sharp again. Fuck you, Shannon.
You know, just open conversation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go pick up my brother and run somewhere. He could have said anything.
Yeah, man. Imagine if he would have said some foul shit like, "Oh, Shannon, you should see these hoes we had last night, man." Like something wild.
That's what I'm saying. He could have said anything.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. Shannon been he been out of football too long, and he behind that desk too long, Roger. He wanted to get that scoop. He wasn't worried about the football brotherhood.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, no, that was wild. So we got I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's been going on with the NBA playoffs.
A little bit.
Not so much the on-court stuff because I really don't give a fuck. This is a football show.
The off-court shit. What's going on with the off-court?
Yo, these fans are wilding the fuck out. These fans is crazy right now. Like, you gotta have everybody locked up for 18 months. Yo, so in the Washington game, a fan poured a bucket of popcorn on Russell Westbrook's head.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Boston, a fan threw a bottle of water at Kyrie Irving's head and almost hit him in the face.
I've seen that. That's, Boston's my team too.
And Boston's that old racist town up there, and plus they hate Kyrie anyway for him going up there saying he's going to stay and then leaving anyway. And then in Madison Square Garden, a fan spit over top of 50 Cent's head and spit onto Trae Young.
Damn.
And this was in Madison Square Garden. This is in New York.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the video, it goes right up, because 50's courtside. It goes right over his head.
Wow. Damn.
And then in Phoenix, it's Phoenix? No, it wasn't Phoenix. Who was it? Oh, it'll come. It was Patrick Beverley. Fuck, whoever he's playing for. So a fan ran onto the court during the game, onto the court like a fucking NFL game. Like, you don't see fans run onto the court in the NBA. They do that in the NFL when they're hammered, right? Runs onto the court, jumps up, slaps the backboard. Like he's in the game. And then gets tackled by the security guard onto the court. And then Patrick Beverley comes over and leans right over top of him and says something to him. Wow. And I was like, yo, these fans are fucking going nuts right now, man.
Yeah, probably on something, too.
Well, not only that, man, so you got NBA fans going crazy. And, if you go to a basketball game, you're, like, on the court. You're right there.
Yeah.
It's not like the NFL where there's, like, barriers and shit, You're down there.
Yeah.
And also, in every single baseball game that has been played this season, since they've started letting fans back in, there's been fights in the crowd, like real fights. Like people getting put to sleep.
Wow.
So, you know what's going to happen during football season this year, Roger Harper?
Go ahead, ridiculous like you always do. What's going to happen?
Yo, man, come on, man. Football is a gladiator sport at heart.
Mm-hmm.
It is violence and in quick burst. There's already fights in the stands at NFL games. This season coming up, it is going to be wild.
Wow.
Wild.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, man.
Everything's opening up and all this and that. It's crazy.
It's going to be wild. The football, like, especially after a game, there's always somebody getting put to sleep in the parking lot. Somebody mad that their team lost, talking shit to somebody, getting dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's coming.
That ass kick always files a lawsuit. You hear about that shit, you know? Oh, shit.
Yeah, they always do, but it's different. I've never really seen it in the NBA where a motherfucker runs onto the court in the NBA. That shit is wild, yo. These fans, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
It's funny to see, Russell Westbrook was bitching about somebody dumping popcorn on his head. I mean, it's the playoffs. You're the visiting team. The world has been locked up for a year and a half. What do you fucking expect?
Exactly.
You're making, like, who knows how much money to play basketball. These people probably, who knows what happened to them during the pandemic. What do you expect?
Exactly.
I honestly, if I was a professional athlete, Roger, I'd expect fucking water bottles and popcorn and all types. They're going to be talking shit the whole time. Like, it's going to be ugly out there.
There's going to be bananas in that shit.
Oh.
They're gonna be acting baby shit, going crazy like you said.
You know what? Yeah, you know, up in Boston, they like to throw batteries and shit. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. I mean, just violence. Period is crazy right now. You feel me? Shit, our city, Columbus, Ohio, already on the record high already with murders and shit. Just crazy shit.
Dude, Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn. The shit changed in Brooklyn, man.
Sure, that's every day.
I just make sure that if I go outside, that I take the wolf with me. Come on, dude, we're going outside.
I know that's right.
They leave you alone when you got a wolf at your side, dude. And he walks.
I got a little wolf. She's a little small dog, but she'll go after your ass. She defend.
Yeah, and I walk the wolf off leash at all times through Brooklyn, so people are just like, oh shit, never mind.
Yeah, that dog is huge.
Yeah, nah, it helps. It helps. People are like, oh shit, leave that guy alone. Fuck.
Yeah. We're near you.
Word. So let's see what else is going on in the sports world before we even jump into football. I'm not much of a sports fan outside of NFL football, to be honest with you.
I watch a little bit of everything.
I mean, I used to. Like, growing up, I really used to. But, you know, all the players that you grew up watching start to retire and shit. And it's just like, the way that the leagues are structured now, especially the NBA in particular, there is absolutely zero team loyalty. Nobody stays with a team. LeBron, even look at LeBron. This is like,
yeah, that shit changed a long time ago.
LeBron is widely considered maybe the greatest of all time, if not number 2, easily, right? This guy's on like his 4th team. That's unheard of.
The championship of each team.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then you look at Kevin Durant, a player of that caliber. He's on his 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard of.
But I don't think the Lakers gonna make it this year, even though LeBron already got one with the Lakers. But they ain't gonna go this year.
We'll.
AP going down.
Before you started joining the show, at the end of when the Lakers won last season in the bubble, me, Carrie, and Ice openly discussed it. There's no way in the world they're going to win again because there are teams that didn't even go to the bubble. So the Lakers won, and then literally 2 weeks later, they started the regular season. That means the Lakers and whoever it is that they beat, whoever the fuck it was, had 2 weeks off before the regular season started. That's incredible. Dead legs. We already knew by the end of the season, dead legs and injuries were going to mount up for all those teams. And the teams that didn't make the playoffs
are the ones up now.
Are going to make a run. Like, look at Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, they ended up with the number 1 seed, and they're balling right now. And they're probably going to end up beating the Lakers and teams like that. You know, we knew it was going to happen. And it's playing out because, look, LeBron's 37?
36, so yeah, 37 probably.
36 or 37. He has also been at least to the finals basically every single year except one.
Exactly.
So you're looking at deep playoff runs every year, and he's been doing this since he was 19. He got a lot of miles on those legs, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive.
He spends a lot of money on his training too.
You have to. The amount of miles on his legs is unprecedented. I don't think anybody's ever played that many minutes of basketball. He has to have the most minutes played in league history. He's been playing starting since 19, and basically I think it was his third year the Cavs made it to the finals. The second or third year was really early on, and ever since then he's been going to the goddamn finals.
Yeah, he's never hurt during the playoffs for sure.
Ever.
Never. Yeah. I question his free throw ability, but you know.
Well, I also question his I am going to take this last shot, because he always makes the right decision. Sometimes you need to take the shot instead of giving it up to the right decision. It's clutch time. You got to be that guy.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you on that too.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always bothered me about him. It's hard for me to put him above somebody like Mike, who would shoulder the load and be like, let's go. I got this.
Kobe Bryant too.
Kobe, yeah, come on. I got this. Let's go.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Larry, Tom Brady, like you just knew.
Yeah.
Magic. It's Tom Brady time. Let's go.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
You know, there's just certain players like that, and like LeBron, his skill set. LeBron reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. His skill set is so far above everybody else, but there's just something about him that you're just like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this guy. I actually played with a Green Bay fan today, and we were talking about football, and he was just like, man, I've been a Green Bay fan my whole life, and I hate Aaron Rodgers.
Whoa.
I was just like, please elaborate, because this is interesting. He's just like, don't get me wrong. He's the best thrower of the football ever. I just fucking hate this guy. He's always bitching about something. It seems like his teammates don't like him. He only gave us one goddamn Super Bowl. I was like, see? I was wondering how Green Bay fans were going to feel about this whole Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay breakup. The real Green Bay fans who were fans before Aaron Rodgers.
You got some insight on that one for sure. Nothing you said.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's really interesting, because you got to think, he was a Green Bay fan before Aaron Rodgers played football there, so he's a Green Bay fan. So he's just like, fuck. It's the same thing, Roger, when Tom ended up leaving New England, even though the Patriots basically pushed him out the fucking door. The hardcore Patriots fans literally were just like, hey, yeah, fuck Tom. And I was just like, wait a minute here. Slow down. And then, you know, there's people like myself who didn't become Patriots fans until Tom Brady was there. They were just like, I'm going to take a break on the Patriots. I'm going to watch these Tampa Bay Bucks win a couple championships, and then I'll be back when Tom's done.
That's what you're going to do, huh? You going back.
It started with Tom Brady for me. I mean, I lived in New England while they were winning Super Bowls. I went to college for 4 years. They won 3 Super Bowls while I was there. It's impossible not to get caught up in it, especially at that age. I'm like literally like, in my lower 20s. I'm just like, so,
I
but
learned to like Brady though. He was a Michigan quarterback, so I didn't like him for a little bit. But as he kept winning and winning, I just became more of a fan. I am a fan of Brady.
And what's funny is back in the day when they actually had college football on the PlayStation, I used to play with Michigan, and Tom Brady was the quarterback on the team that I played with, which was hilarious because I wasn't necessarily a Tom Brady fan. I actually didn't like him because he was so goddamn slow on the game. Like you couldn't run out of the pocket. It wasn't happening. But then you get caught up in New England sports. But it's interesting that this guy would be like, yeah, fuck Aaron Rodgers. And I'm just like, you do know he's got the best arm probably ever, right? And he was just like, yeah, but it's not all about just the arm. I was like, well, at least you understand that part. Especially quarterback in the NFL is 90% intangibles and then like 2% arm, 8% leadership and shit, right? Tom Brady's just leadership and film study and, you know, let's see, this guy gave up money on his contracts for 20 straight seasons in New England. Like, no, I don't need to be the highest paid anything. Get me some help.
I know that's right.
You know, like,
Genius, a smart move.
and then turn around also. And then my brother, I just talked to my brother the other day about this. I love this guy. So for like the first 15 years of his career, he wouldn't do a commercial unless he could put his teammates in it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so if you go back in the early, like the first Super Bowl run, those first 3 Super Bowls, if you watch any of the Tom Brady's commercials, there was like Visa and some other shit, right? I remember the Visa one specifically because he was at a restaurant and his entire offensive line was at the...
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, then they asked him about it, and you know, they said he won't do a commercial unless he can put his teammates in it. Like,
Wow.
he doesn't want to do them,
Exactly.
but he will if he can put his team in. So he put his whole offensive line in one. Like, here you go, guys.
Yeah, I seen that. I remember that one a little bit.
Well, I mean, you know, like, when the balls snap, what those offensive linemen are going to do for you as a quarterback, if that's the type of shit you do for them. You put they now have faces because the NFL football was made to be faceless athletes.
Okay.
They're replaceable. That was the whole idea.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about the uniform rules, everyone had to wear the same colored socks, same colored shoes, same everything, right? That's because they wanted everyone to look uniform. And that's why they also got rid of celebrations. They wanted no individualization in football. They wanted, so it's like easily replaceable. So when this guy gets hurt and goes out, you don't question if this guy has brain damage off that hit that he just got. He just replaced by another nameless, faceless guy.
Exactly.
And
Interesting.
that's all changed. Social media changed all of that. Like, now you know who these guys are.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's, but you know who's behind it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's a people don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
So, Roger, you got to think about it, man. Like, there's levels to NFL football success.
Yeah.
As far as like advertisements go and like endorsements. All right, there's like, you might get some on-field footage where people will recognize you because of your number. All right, that's level 1. Then there's level 2 where you're going to have your uniform, your jersey on no matter what the setting of the commercial is. You got your fucking jersey on. You might be in a black tie event, but the football player's got his fucking jersey on.
Exactly.
That's because there's no way to recognize these people without their jersey and number on, right? And then there's the third level of success, like Tom Brady or, you know, Dan Marino had the Isotoner commercials, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Dan Marino ain't have his jersey on in those commercials because you're so successful that people know who you are at that point.
Yeah.
But
Look at my boy Dion now.
Yeah.
You know, he got the commercials and shit.
yeah, he doesn't have to. He's not going to put his jersey on. They know it's Deion Sanders now.
Exactly.
But you got to remember, dude, think about like the 80s and 90s. If you did a commercial or an ad, you had your fucking uniform on, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it could be a car. It could be a car commercial. You're in the car dealership shopping for a car with your jersey on.
Yep, exactly.
Wh-
Exactly what it is.
Which, honestly, see, you were a professional football player. At any given time in the off season, did you wear your fucking uniform?
Fuck no.
Exactly. That's why all those commercials were so stupid. It was just like no football player wears their jersey when it's not the season.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really fucking weird. So, but the other, all right. So swinging back to Aaron Rodgers. So Jeopardy, his salary is supposedly, if he were to start hosting Jeopardy, which he has said he will, if they want him to, he will do, between 10 and 20 million a season.
Whoa.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah, Aaron Rodgers don't need football money. Like,
Exactly. You already got that.
yo, it's funny. He might Barry Sanders everybody, Roger.
Really?
He might be like, yo, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm done with the NFL. I'm done playing football. I'm done with all this shit. Fuck you. I got a billion other things I'd rather do. You guys never put anything into this goddamn team. It's just me at all times. I'm gone. And retire.
Yeah.
I could see it happen. I could see him sitting out, even if he only sits out one season. I could see him actually just saying, I'm done with this shit. I'm 37. I've won multiple MVPs. I got a Super Bowl title. I'm the host of Jeopardy now, for fuck's sake. I make $20 million to work for 6 weeks a year. They film all of the shows in 6 weeks, dude.
Wow.
He even said it. It's 6 weeks of work. The whole season. $20 million.
Damn. That's crazy.
And he's made somewhere up to around $200 million at this point in his career already. So, like, does he really need... He even said he did an interview for, it was Kenny Mayne. Kenny Mayne retired from ESPN. And on his last show, Aaron Rodgers did an interview, and he was talking about how it has nothing to do with football. Jordan Love, backup quarterbacks, the coaching staff, or anything. It is literally the Packers' vision for what it is they're trying to do and what they want to do. And he's just like, I just don't want to be a part of it. Which is interesting. Because you would figure, you got a guy that talented and that successful, you would want him to have a say in what the vision actually is.
It happens all the time with good quarterbacks with successful programs. They have a little say-so in who they want to bring in. Tom Brady is one of them.
Exactly. So wouldn't you all right, so say you're a GM. We all get hired as a GM somewhere. I'm asking the quarterback what he thinks. What is it? You're the most important player on our team. Even if you don't want to be the leader, you have to be by de facto. So what do you want? How can I help you? It's not that hard.
Some GMs get it, some don't,
I think a lot of GMs have a lot of really, really, really big egos, and they also have the side of not being athletically successful for the majority of them. So there's that kind of overcompensation in their professional career because they never made it to that level of the field professionally. So there's always a weird... It's like almost like a weird jealousy thing, and then they wield that power over top of the athletes themselves as a GM. And the perfect example is Jerry Krause with the Bulls. How do you win 6 fucking NBA titles, and then after the 6th one, you look at everybody and say, I don't care if we win. Phil Jackson, you're not coming back. Scottie Pippen, Mike, I don't want to pay you either. Get the fuck out of here. You won't commit. 1-year deals for $35 million. Get out of here. We can do this ourselves. And look, the Bulls have been terrible ever since then. And Jerry Krause used to say it in interviews. It's not the players. It starts from the top down. He always said that. It starts from the top down. Like, nah, it's us. Motherfucker, you are not on the court playing 1 second of basketball. How is it you? So you look at Bill Belichick, who clearly probably had the most influence as any front office person on their team and organization of anybody in any sport in the history of sports. Because he successfully was both the coach and the GM the entire time. Nobody wields that much power successfully. You're either one or the other. He did both of them. And when you ask him, this is the man who was widely regarded as the greatest coach in any sport of all time. He said it all starts with the players. Look at the difference in that. This is the greatest coach who's ever lived, and he says, no, it all starts with them. We put them in positions they have to execute. And then you got dumbass Jerry Krause breaking up the Bulls. You had goddamn Michael Jordan on your team, you fucking idiot. And then you say, no, it's not Mike, it's us. You see all these decisions we made?
Yeah.
I imagine Jerry Jones is like that.
Oh, yeah, he was something else, boy. Jerry Jones.
That's incredible. That's incredible that guy is been somehow has not been forced to sell his team.
Yeah. I'm sure he's got something going on. That place is amazing, though. That Jerry's World, though. That place is real nice.
Any stadium that cost a couple $2 billion better fucking be nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about, I don't know if you were there for this a couple weeks ago. Me and Carrie were discussing how the Raiders in Vegas are putting a club in the end zone. Like a club, like a real club, Roger. Like bottle service and bottle girls, and it's what was it, 11,000 square feet or something behind the end zone.
Damn.
So during the game, there's going to be a club rocking.
Exactly.
With a DJ. It's got a 45,000 watt stereo system.
That's going to be a distraction like a motherfucker.
I mean, I think the Raiders better have an impeccable home record. You got teams flying into Las Vegas with all, they're staying at casinos. You better win every home game.
Exactly.
But this is the wave of new stadium building. You look at the newer stadiums, they don't have popcorn and hot dogs, dude. They have full menus and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just Bud Light. They've got microbreweries at the stadium and shit, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so if you go to what do they call that shit? I think it's still called MetLife. The Giants and Jets Stadium, the new one. Not only is it 6 levels high, which is 3 higher than most sports stadiums. It's so big. Roger, when you're walking down the hallways, the walls are screens. Not multiple screens. One giant goddamn monitor.
Damn.
You never miss any part of the game ever. The walls are the game. There's monitors everywhere. It's incredible. So you're looking at places like that, and then you look at Tampa, which has swimming pools.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, Tampa's got pools in the outfield, and so does Jacksonville.
Damn.
And then, there's things like that, and you've got Jerry World where it's not a football stadium.
Yeah.
Dude, they have boxing matches, concerts, NCAA tournament was there. A lot of big shit goes there. A lot of big stuff because of its ability to hold over 100,000 people indoors. Right? And then Minnesota's new stadium is incredible, and Atlanta's new stadium's retarded. And the Patriots
I've been in Atlanta. We've had some stuff for guys come down and check it out. I've been to that one. Jerry's World was, both of them were nice, but Jerry's World just big difference. Big difference.
Have you ever been up to Foxborough, to the Patriots place, since they've made it into what it is now?
Nah, I bet it's amazing though, right?
All right, so theirs is a little bit different because the stadium is still just the stadium.
Okay.
What they've done is they built around the stadium. It used to be just nothing, literally just woods and a mega parking lot, right?
Yeah.
It started with a mall. They have a mall that goes around the stadium. And it's like a super high-end mall, like Gucci, Fendi, all this shit Tom Brady would be wearing. And then they added a concert venue and a fucking movie theater and all this shit, and it's a full entertainment complex around a football field now. It's nuts. It's really impressive, but this is what you have to do now, especially after the Roni, because I don't care how nice stadiums are. I still would rather sit and watch football at home because I can smoke as much as I fucking want to. I can get up and go to the bathroom. I get to watch replay. I can switch in between games. All that shit.
For sure.
So the viewing experience at home has improved exponentially. 4K TVs, the Red Zone channel. If you get NFL, the NFL Network You can watch every game at once. Like, you can really go in. Medicated food all goddamn day. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I do.
Oh, yo, so while I got you on here, I was talking to Carrie. I was looking up the schedule. I don't think the preseason one would make any sense because it's the Patriots play the Giants at MetLife for the third preseason game. I think me and Carrie are going to go just because it'll be cheap. It's a preseason game, and who the fuck's going to go? And they're only doing 3 this year now. Remember, there's only 3 preseason games because of the 17th game added. So the preseason game dynamic is going to be odd. Is that third game, are the starters going to... That's usually... Remember, the starters would usually play like at least a quarter or a half. A drive into the third to see how they go after a halftime break, and then that's it. You don't see them again until week 1.
Exactly.
And, the fourth preseason game was always like, all right, we're going to put all these fringe guys in, and we're going to see who we're cutting down now. Well, that game's gone. So how are teams going to... I don't know how they're going to adjust. But anyway, I believe it is week 3. The Patriots play at the Jets. So if you want to come up to New York, because me, Carrie, and Nice are definitely going to that game.
What's the date?
Let me look it up. I believe it's the second or third week of the season. But as soon as I saw that, I texted Carrie. I was just like, dude, we got to go. Like, we got to go. We have to go. How could we not? I mean, I don't want to see the fucking Jets play, but,
Nice does.
You're goddamn right he does.
They've been blasting his album on the satellite radio, too.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I was surprised by it because usually, Nice is talking about nice shit, robbing people and gangster shit and all that stuff. So I heard this one. I was like, oh, this is...
I heard some gangster shit, that motherfucker.
Yeah, just a little bit. But, it was a little bit more personable than usual. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And plus the production. Production was a little bit slowed down, a little bit softer. It wasn't so hard. So the 19th.
19th of September?
September 19th, 1 o'clock.
Okay. I'll check my schedule for that. September 19th.
Yeah, let me know because I'm going to end up getting tickets for everybody as soon as possible. But as soon as I saw that, I was just like, dude, we got to go. It'd be hilarious. We have to fucking go.
Sweet. That's what's up.
And plus, it's September football in New York. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Go watch the Pats destroy this terrible Jets team and just laugh at Nice the whole time. It's going to be awesome.
Some rebuilding do. A lot of teams do. They definitely do.
There's a huge dual dynamic going on now in the NFL, Roger, where there's super teams now. And then there's everybody else. There's like the Bucks and the Chiefs. And there's teams where rosters, like the Browns, their roster is absolutely fucking loaded. And there's like... I was talking to Carrie last week, I think there's 4 teams that can realistically win an NFL championship this season coming up. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's fun. The regular season is fun. It's good to see players perform and whatnot, but we kind of know how things are going to play out when we get to the end of the season. There will always be a surprise. The NFL always has a worst to first. There's always some team that was terrible that ends up winning their division. It happens every season. But other than that, things pretty much seem to play themselves out, at least for the last 20 seasons. In the AFC, it was the Patriots were guaranteed that you're going to have to go through them at some point in the playoffs. But there was also Pittsburgh. Yep. And then there was also Baltimore, and then that was it. If it wasn't one of those 3 teams for 20 fucking seasons out of the AFC, it was nobody else. The Colt Peyton Manning got one in there. But basically it was just them. It was incredible. And on the NFC, it's typically been kind of the same teams. The Seahawks had a run. The Niners had a little run. But now the Bucs are going to be successful as long as Tom is there. That's like a guarantee. That's like the New England. All right, so Tom's down there. You can pencil them in. And you can pencil the Chiefs in as long as Patrick Mahomes is breathing. All right, they're going to be really good. And then it's just like, on the AFC side, I can see the Browns because their roster is so loaded, it's retarded. So talented. And then the Bills. Bills are really, really good. And then on the other side, it's like, is anybody really going to beat this team? No. No, I'm not stupid here. I'm not stupid. There's no team in history that's brought their 23 top roster spots back and their entire coaching staff.
Exactly.
And they have the one guy on the planet who knows what it's like to be this far away from having a perfect season and knows what it takes to get there, leading them. And they've already got a Super Bowl under their belt, so it's not like let's try to win a Super Bowl. Now it's like they're literally like, let's see if we can actually go undefeated.
Yeah.
With them adding another game into the schedule, dude, if they go 20-0, that's retarded.
You said it. You usually be right about some shit, but watch. Let's see. They got I bet they got the highest percentage right now. And if you betting right now,
Yeah.
win the Super Bowl,
Easily. Now it's all about health. Can people stay healthy? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's who stays healthy, because somebody's going to get hurt. A big injury, a lineman. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's going to happen. But it's different when you literally are coming into the season like, all right, we're not losing this whole season. It's different. It's going to be the expectations are unprecedented. You got the whole world. That's all they're going to be talking about. I mean, they can. Will they though? I don't know, man. It's so hard. It's so hard in the NFL.
It's hard to compete for sure.
So the Patriots actually had a longer winning streak than 20 games, but it spanned 2 seasons.
Okay.
All right, so one season where once they got on a roll and went through the playoffs and won, that was like 11 straight games. And then they opened up the next season with like 11 or 12 wins. So they have a streak of like 23 or 24 straight wins, but that's not all in one season. Now that there's 17 games, if you're 17-0, you're definitely getting the number 1 seed, so you're getting a bye. So you'd have 20 games in a row in one season. I mean, all right, so if you're Tom Brady and you go 20-0 and you win another Super Bowl, is there a point to coming back? He will. He will, because he's going to try to get 3 in a row. He'll be the only one ever to do 3 in a row. And he'll have 9, which will give him 1 more than Belichick, and that's it. That's all he needs.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
he's smart enough to do it and great enough to do it. So
I mean, it's different. All right, so when the Patriots had a chance to go undefeated, nobody wanted to see them go undefeated except New England fans. Nobody wanted to see it. Not only because at that point everyone was sick and tired of their shit, but also during that undefeated season, they were literally beating teams by 60.
oh yeah.
It looked like college football that one year. I mean, there were games they were winning 7. There was a game they put up 74 points in an NFL game.
Exactly.
How do you put up 74 points against a professional defense? That's unheard of.
Yeah.
So everyone hated them. So everyone wanted the Giants to beat them. Like, I get it. I think if the Bucs start going on a run and are like 13, 12, 13-0, I think everyone's going to want to see them do it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's never done. I think everyone's going to be like, dude, I think they can actually do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's different this time. It's the evil empire's gone. It's not the Patriots. It's not Belichick. It's different now. It's Bruce Arians who wears a Kangol and drinks fucking Hennessy after press conferences. Like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just tell Tom, do whatever you want. People love that guy. And now,
he can change the game for sure. His coaching style.
so Roger, you got to think. So back when the Patriots first won and started to win, everyone loved them because they've sucked for so long and they were not supposed to win. And then Tom Brady became everyone's fucking All-American, right? And then they kept winning so much that everyone fucking started to despise them for it. Just like the Yankees. Everyone hates the Yankees unless you're a Yankees fan. You just get tired of the shit, right? But now that Tom has gone and separated himself from the evil empire, I think everyone likes this guy. Everyone's just like, nah, I like this dude. I don't like Belichick. It's them. It's them. They were cheating. They couldn't have been Tom. Yo, Tom, he could not have broken away from them any more successfully. It's not possible. Goes to a new team, wins the Super Bowl immediately, and the players after the Super Bowl, this is the most amazing thing that I have ever seen in sports. The Bucs players, when being interviewed immediately after winning the Super Bowl, there is still confetti falling from the sky. The first words out of their mouths were not, I just won a Super Bowl, we are champions. All of them say the same fucking thing. I'm going to tell my kids I played with Tom Brady. I was just like, oh, they just won a Super Bowl and they're I played with that guy. Like, I played with that guy.
Let's call him the dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, dude, I've never heard of that in any sport ever. Maybe with Mike. Maybe with Jordan by the time, but the players who were winning their first one, like, you had the mainstays who were like, yeah, this is my fucking 5th championship. I don't fucking care at this point. But, you'd have some bench players. It's got to be like their first one or whatever. I bet you they were like, I played with Mike. Like, I don't care about that fucking trophy. It's so rare. It's like, I bet you if you played against Tiger in a major on Sunday and you lost, I don't think you'd actually care. Yeah, it'd be great to beat Tiger.
Yes.
But if you lost, you'd be like, yo, man, I fucking played one-on-one with Tiger on a Sunday. That shit was... You're going to remember that forever.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Those guys respect him still.
Yeah. Yeah, you kidding me? Can you imagine being on the tee box and Tiger walks up? Like, yeah, can I join your group? No. I don't want to embarrass myself all day. Like, Jesus Christ. Nah, fuck that, Roger Harper. I'll be like, yo, I just went 3 under today. What's up, Tiger?
Did you think, boy, I didn't know they're that good. Well, I couldn't be with you out there. You'd be frustrated with my shit.
Not at all. I don't give a fuck, dude. The guy I played with was terrible. He was racist. He kept saying stupid shit. He was an old Italian from Queens, so he was one of those old racist.
Wow.
And I just kept looking at him like, hey, you're fucking 70-something. Well, you're not going to change. But ignoring him locked me into a zone. I just kept rolling up and just being like, whatever.
See. That's your best game yet this summer, this year?
Yeah, I knew it was coming, though. I knew it was coming. So a month ago, I was talking to my professional friend, and I told him, I was just like, yo, I don't give a fuck. It's happening this year. I'm going under. I can feel it. I feel it. I don't know why. I just feel it. I haven't spoken to him until today because I was waiting for it to happen before I called him back. And I called him. He's just like, yeah, boy, you manifested the shit out of that when you've been talking about that for months now. I was just like, I just knew it. And then, shout out to him because he just qualified for the Nationals at the level that he plays at.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he just won 4 tournaments in a row to qualify for the Nationals.
So he be giving you private lessons then?
I got him for 2 years straight, basically 3 to 4 times a week.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why I got good quick because he'd just call me and be like, yo, what are you doing? Nothing. Let's go play golf. Fuck yeah. I just grabbed some weed and some blunts. Let's go.
Damn. That's what's up.
Yeah, no, I got real lucky because I wanted to learn how to play golf, and then I just got, here's a professional, and he's a golf coach, and he likes weed. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy.
Hey, but check this story out. I was on an airplane flying somewhere, and I met motherfucking John Daly and Love the Third. Man, we got fucked up on the plane. we kept in contact for a while, but I just lost touch with him. But we kicked it. We stayed friends for a few years. And
Oh, that's hilarious. I can see John Daly being cool as hell.
Oh man, we drank a month. Man, you hear me?
Yeah, I don't drink. They would, they might think I'm soft, but I know they ain't gonna outsmoke me though.
I know that's right.
Of all the professional golfers to play with, he would probably be the funnest.
Uh-huh.
You know, because he'd just be out there ripped, like just letting it fly.
Yeah, he's a wild man. He's a drinker. Boy, I wouldn't like that, but we was on the plane drinking. I met him and shit. So we kicked it.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. All right, let me see if there's anything else going on in the sports world. I don't think there is. Kerry said he'll make it by 9. Who knows what in the fuck Nice is doing right now? I don't know. It's summertime in New York, man. Who knows what's going on? The Nets are up at halftime, 59-51. Which means they're up 3-1 in the series. So, I mean, you got James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. Yeah, you're supposed to.
Boston's my team, too. Shit, I ain't even been watching because they just been pissing me off. But we pulled that last one out. But my man had 50 points, but he can't have 50 points every night.
No, he can't, and it doesn't matter because they got 3 people who can put up 50 at any given time. So
yeah, each can put up 50. You know
that's what I'm saying. So you're looking at Jason Tatum might be able to throw up 50, but like he can't do it twice in the same game.
Yeah, then our dude Brown is out. So
when Brown got hurt, me and Kerry talked about that one last week. When Brown got hurt, I was just like, it doesn't matter then, because Tatum can really, really play, like really play.
Yeah. He's gonna be so he's already a superstar, but he's gonna be up there like the rest of them. So.
Yeah, no, next season, he should elevate himself up into like the top level of players because on the court he does. He's already playing at that level. It's just I don't know if people know about it yet. Two things in the boxing world going on. I am a big boxing fan, thanks to P.
Okay.
Pacquiao was fighting Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is that motherfucking dude. I don't know what Pacquiao's thinking here. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Like I'm gonna watch it, but and then Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have been forced into a third fight by the courts, so they are now prepping for their third fight. I imagine we're just going to watch Tyson Fury outbox Deontay Wilder all day again because that wild haymaker swinging, I'm going to knock you out with one punch doesn't work against this other guy. He can really box.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also 7 fucking feet tall. Like,
damn, is that this weekend?
Nah, they're coming up, but also that dude Jake Paul was fighting a former UFC champ. So these former UFC champs are just lining up to try to knock this dude out, and they just keep going down one by one. And this guy makes like $100 million every time it happens. This guy is a marketing genius. Incredible. Let's see. Nobody gives a fuck about hockey.
Not really at all.
I mean, come on, man. It's summertime. Is hockey? It blows my mind that they have the hockey playoffs are in the summer. Ain't no ice out. Yeah.
It should be in the winter time and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that it matches the NBA season instead of matching like starting like I don't know like halfway through football season when it starts to get cold.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Nobody wants to watch hockey. It's fucking 98 degrees outside right now. I can't imagine going to a hockey game in a pair of shorts. That would just feel fucking weird, dude.
They be in there with those shirts on and shit, acting like some crazy motherfuckers.
Oh, the other big news in the NFL, Tim Tebow. I mean,
What's going on here?
he's got the #1 selling jersey in the NFL again.
What?
Yep. This
His
is
number.
85.
Wow.
85 this time.
Wow.
So, now you start to understand part of the reasoning behind these people signing Tim Tebow to Jacksonville. He is a Jacksonville high school legend of legends. He is a Florida legend of legends.
Yes, he is.
You bring him back home. This guy sells jerseys instantly. Even when he's a bench player, he sells more jerseys than anybody. And he's going to sell tickets to a team that nobody goes and watches.
Wow.
Also, you have to think that the Jags play in London every single year. They're like, because Sadiq Khan, their owner, he owns a soccer team and shit. So that's more exposure even on a bigger level over there, because you have to think of what Tim Tebow represents first and foremost above even a football player. Jesus. This guy's he is a Christian above all first. So every single Christian supports this guy.
Exactly.
This guy's got like 3 billion fans on the planet, dude.
Wow.
It doesn't matter if he's good or not. He is so hardcore about being a Christian and praying and positivity, and you always saw him kneeling. Tim Tebow was kneeling on the sidelines before anybody took offense to it.
I know that's right.
Right? Like, they were just like, just ignore this guy over here. It's a quarterback who can't throw the ball. This guy sucks. As he's winning playoff games, right? So, he hasn't even made the team officially. They're not even down to their 90-man roster yet, which would be the first level, right? And he's already the leading jersey seller in the NFL. You think he's not going to make this team?
I was going to say that. You think he's going to get cut? Hell no.
Hell no. And honestly, what's the fucking difference between the 53rd and the 54th man on the roster, honestly? There isn't. There isn't, people. It's that guy is barely going to see the field ever. He's going to play special teams more than anything else. That's it. It doesn't fucking matter. He's not taking anybody's job, I promise you. That fourth tight end on that Jags team that would have gotten that job there is going to get a job somewhere else when somebody fucking gets hurt and they need a tight end somewhere. So he's literally not taking, me and Carrie brought this up last week. You were there. The NFL is about availability and health. People are going to get hurt during the season. So, rosters spots 54 through 60-something, whatever those guys are on every single team, those guys are all going to get a play during the season somewhere. Somewhere. They're going to get a shot somewhere because they're already going to be signed to practice squads, right?
Exactly.
And they've expanded the practice squad players up to like 10 or something now. So you're looking at rosters being well within the mid-60s, up to 70 players.
Exactly, about 60-something, yep.
Yeah, Tim Tebow's not taking anybody's fucking spot.
Exactly. They got a spot just for him with whatever money they going to give him and keep him happy, and he going to sell jerseys and all that shit.
All that shit. Do interviews.
He going to take the chat. He going to be get chaplain paid too.
Yeah, son. He's going to be the team chaplain. He's going to be
Yes.
He's going to see the other thing, Roger, that you have to think of is the things that Tim Tebow lacks of on the field execution. His leadership is like unprecedented. Nobody's a better leader than this guy. You bring him into the locker room, now Trevor Lawrence, who is a rookie quarterback, doesn't have to be the leader on day one.
Yep.
You get to learn from a guy that as soon as he walks through the door, people just give him their respect. Now, Trevor Lawrence has already gotten that because he's been the motherfucking man from day one. High school football, college, national championships at both levels, #1 recruit, #1 player in high school, #1 player in college, Heisman winner, national title winner. He's used to it. But that NFL is a different motherfucking animal altogether.
Yes, it is.
So he doesn't have to step in on day one as a 22-year-old kid and look at a room full of grown-ass men who make more money than him and try to lead them. You got that guy. That's what that guy does. That's all that guy does is lead people. So I can imagine that the pregame speeches coming out of Tim Tebow this season are going to be fucking electric. It makes me want to fucking be a Jaguar.
All the Ohio State boys down there, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ohio State players on the coaching staff. Shaughnessy's the weight, the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, the DB coaches, Chris Ash and Tim Walt, they both Ohio State people. Tim Walt was a teammate of mine. He's been coaching around in the NFL for quite a while now.
Yeah, they're trying to see if AJ Hawk would be interested in joining the coaching staff, but he doesn't want to be a coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's I watch the Pat McAfee show every day, and he comes on like the third hour and is on for an hour, and I think he's the funniest man in America because he doesn't laugh ever. And that's his whole thing is like you can't get him to laugh. And it's all dry. Everything is like, it's like, I think Belichick is hilarious. I would have loved to have played for Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
That straight-faced, dry humor is fucking hilarious to me.
Yes, quite amusing.
That's why me and Nice get along so well and always have. We have the same sense of humor. Hey, look at this guy.
Yo.
Oh, yo.
Yo, I know New York is open back up, but like, come on, you was busy in these streets?
Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, things I gotta handle. I've been locked down for, I don't even know, 2 years, 3 years.
All right, we'll abbreviate everything that because we just kind of been having a friendly conversation about what's been going on in the world. Cause I knew you was going to pop up eventually, and I have no fucking clue where Nice is at.
Okay. Out there making world premiere videos and all that.
Yeah, he got a lot of interviews on satellite radio stations and shit like that right now. So, speaking of the world opening back up after 18 months, have you seen all the shit that's going on in the NBA with fans running on the court and throwing bottles and popcorn? And
at this point in time, they clout chasing. Fuck them. They all clout chasing at this point. The last one who just got tackled, as he was going off the court, he was like pumping his fist like, yeah, he did it. It's just like, fans running on the field naked. Or they had that one, remember that one blonde chick? Roger, remember that one blonde chick? Yeah, she always used to run on baseball fields and football fields, especially baseball. But she did it a couple times on a couple basketball courts.
But you remember what
the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, you remember what used to happen when you ran onto an NFL field as a fan, drunken fan.
You get tapped up.
Dick Butkus would end your life.
You get tapped up. Cat named Mike Curtis played for the Baltimore Colts. Taught somebody a stiff lesson back in the day.
Yeah, could you imagine if that happened now? You'd get sued out into oblivion if you did that to a fan that ran onto the field.
They look Sean Taylor ain't around.
Oh my!
On the Sean Taylor field.
Oh, he would.
To a punter. Please.
In an all-star game at that.
Right. Yeah. With no stakes involved. Yeah.
And everyone respected him for it.
Hell yeah. No, there's players out there who would do that.
Not a single player looked at him like, yo, son, that was the punter.
Nope.
This is a Pro Bowl. Everyone was hyped he did that. Like, yeah, fuck it.
Punter was out there trying to get busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, he's a ball carrier. Once he crosses the line of scrimmage, he's a ball carrier.
Fair game. Shit.
Yeah, it's fair game.
Yo, Kerry, so you got Russell getting a bag of popcorn dumped on his head. All right, that pissed him off. Of course, he's very hot-tempered anyway.
No.
You know he's hot-tempered. Why would you do that to him?
Really come at him especially because but he's also right because none of these punks, because that's what they are, punks who do this would ever do this in real life.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Not to him.
Never.
You know he will turn it up. You're not gonna do that to him.
Not gonna do that to him.
And the funny thing is, all right. So there's always the optical illusion of the NBA. 7-footers that we put into our own bracket of they're probably like 6 and some change because the players who are 6'5" look smaller and shorter. So that's like what we would consider average. And then the point guard we would consider short. So you would think they would be like my size. And then you see an NBA player in person, you're like, wait a minute, Russell Westbrook is 6'4"?
Oh, yeah.
God damn, he's fucking, look at his shoulders. Jesus Christ. Yo, when we were going to the Loud 25th anniversary show and Kevin Durant walked in front of me and Nice, I don't know how tall he is listed. I don't know if they can legally list him at 9 feet, but there's no way he is anywhere in the 6-foot range. It's not possible.
Yeah, and he's one who gets called out for not saying that he's a legit 7-footer.
I think
he's a 7-footer.
I think he's got the Kevin Garnett thing going on. Kevin Garnett did the same thing. He never wanted to be listed as 7-footer because he didn't want to be listed as a center.
Yeah. So they have him at like 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, but no, Kevin Durant is 7 foot something, dude. That guy is absolutely. He's the Slim Reaper. He's fucking 11 feet tall.
That's my favorite nickname for him, Slim Reaper.
He's 11 feet tall and 111 pounds.
And you told the story before. You said your forehead was at his waist.
Yeah, no, dude, he was so big. It was just like literally like. I mean, I'm short, but like. He was literally twice of. There was 2. I could have had another me standing on my shoulders, and we would have been eye to eye. I was like, geez, that's what I'm saying. There's no way he's 6 foot anything. That's not possible.
I met Dikembe Mutombo after a Rockets game one time. Cool, mad cool dude. He's a literal giant. Like we have giants out here, people. Like he's a literal giant.
Yo, I imagine Dikembe. If Dikembe would wag his finger at me, that his index finger would be the size of my whole forearm.
Straight up, man. I don't be looking up to a lot of nobody, but I just kind of step back. I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? I'm doing a lot of leaning back. Hey, what's up, man? Like I can't. That's a lot. That's tall.
Super tall. You know what's funny though is like college football versus the NFL size-wise, there isn't that big of a difference. Like,
well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really realize how tall Chase Young is. I didn't realize he was like a legit 6'7". I honestly thought he was undersized. I couldn't.
I didn't know he was that tall.
When he was at Ohio State, I just couldn't tell. Man, maybe I didn't see enough of the games.
I just know that I bet a bunch of, the players in college who did make it to the NFL, and then the players that you played against that made it, and then you meet, when me and P would go out, we used to meet Giants linemen, used to be in the club, these guys, same linemen all the time, and it was, always at Griffin, dude, and it was just like, and you just always knew them because they were a little bit bigger than everybody else, but they weren't like Kevin Durant tall.
No,
they were big. You knew they were football players because they were big. You're like, that guy's got to be a football player. He's fucking huge.
When Chase Young got to the league and then he's standing against the people that's supposed to block him, then I understood how big he was.
Well, that's the same thing when I. That's why I had to go see Gronkowski play in person at least once. I had to see how, if he's actually, and he was. His head is literally above. His helmet was a full helmet size above every other player on the field, including all the linemen and D linemen. I was just like, he's bigger than everyone. This is incredible.
Who was this player?
Gronkowski.
Gronk.
Yeah, Roger Gronk. I had to see him in person, and he is literally bigger than everyone else on the field. It was incredible. Like, significantly bigger. His shoulders were up. It was just, it's a whole different class of human. Like Kerry said, there are literal giants out there, and he was one of them.
Okay.
Now, I always said that LeBron's a hybrid. He's not full human. He's alien and human. No one's ever seen LeBron's dad, ever. Not once. See?
No, nobody.
No one. You tell me, look.
It could be actor Delroy Lindo.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, oh yes. Hey, what have you heard as an Ohio native that we wouldn't know?
He looks just like his old man. So, His old man this time with somebody I know. Yep, for sure. So he looked just like his dad. The bald, the receding hairline, the receding hairline.
Well, you know, Roger, the question was, all right, so you get every, like, single mother athlete that came from the hood and made it big and whatnot. Their estranged dad always shows up somewhere. It's all in every movie and every story, and it happens in real life, too, because now there's money involved. Mm-hmm. And LeBron's dad never came out of the shadows. It was just like, is his dad actually an alien? Because he is 6'8", 265, is bigger, stronger, faster, can jump higher, has better ball skills and basketball IQ than everybody who's playing. You're not supposed to be better at everything than everyone. There's always like one thing. One guy can jump, and that guy can shoot, and that guy can pass. He does all of it.
Like, yeah, I could have went to the league. I wouldn't doubt that he could have made it to the NFL.
He could have, because he was a first-team All-State wide receiver.
Yeah.
His last year he played football.
His ass would have moved back.
Definitely a hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the problem with him is he
him up.
He is a little, like, he's tall, so, like, his knees would have taken a beating if he would have kept playing football.
He would have got that Gronk treatment, especially if he's mushing people and...
Well, I mean, with his vertical, if you're LeBron, you're 6'8", 6'9", huge wingspan, and a 40-inch vertical, quarterbacks are going to be throwing it up in the air a lot. You're going to be coming down and landing on the back of your head and shoulders because people are going to be taking out your lower half all the fucking time.
All the time.
So, I mean, he did make the correct career decision to play basketball instead. Because as physically dominant as he would have been, it would have been for a very short time.
Mm-hmm.
Very short. It would have been awesome, though. Jesus Christ. Just throw it up. Just fade routes all day in the fucking end zone. Here you go, dude. Go get it. How do you stop it? You can't.
I mean, unless he convinced them, whatever team, to somehow keep him outside and be the next Harold Carmichael, playing receiver at 6'7", 6'8". I don't know.
I think he would have been better suited to, if he's going to play in the NFL, to be a modern day outside linebacker D end.
Sure.
Like Chase Young, if you're that goddamn tall and you can jump put your hands up like that, oh my God, imagine what he could do out there.
Yeah.
Long ass arms to keep people off of him.
Ball skills.
Balls.
So yeah.
Good footwork.
Yeah, because Ted Hendricks, who played for the Raiders, he was what, 6'8", 6'9", tall as hell. So yeah.
Plus you keep it.
I think a slot tight end receiver, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you want him to have a full career, you'd have to switch to defense to keep the abuse off of him. Yeah. Allow him to be the one who is dictating the physical abuse instead of just taking it because you're catching the ball first. Because otherwise, I mean, we saw Gronk is literally bigger than everyone and has missed more than 2 full seasons of football, and not even counting him retiring for a season. Injuries of 2 full seasons worth of football, and that body couldn't take it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I loved Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. You know, Kerry, we talked about this for decades at this point. Catch it and get down. First down, keep it moving. Don't even attempt to fucking get yards after the catch. Catch, boom, boom, keep it moving. Yep. Lineman up, bam, damn, next play going.
And what that does also frustrates the D. Because they can't get a lick on you, and you faster than them anyway. All they want to do is knock the wind out your sails, and yeah, you getting down before they can get you. Yeah, it'll.
So, Kerry, you know what's going to happen? You get a defensive back, a big hitter, frustrated. Yeah. He's going to he's either going to get a penalty because he's mad, or he's
out the game,
or he's going to go for a shot and miss, and it's going to be an easy touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that would frustrate the shit out of you. You don't even get to tackle him. All you get to do is just run up to him and touch him, and the play's over. Like,
yeah, it's like that with receivers, but for me, it's even worse when it's a running back that you can't get your hands on. I don't know how you feel about that, Roger, but when a running back was like killing us and he was just too quick to get to, he dip out the sideline real quick or just dip down, and you couldn't really You couldn't smack him. You couldn't, you couldn't soften him up a little bit. You
That's
just
like
knew.
Barry Sanders. It sound like to me.
Yeah.
Unless
You couldn't
like
stop
that,
them up
you
till about
can't-
the fourth quarter. They still going 100 miles an hour, and you gassed out.
Unless your name's Roger Harper and you were wearing 47 for the Falcons at this time. You about to light Barry up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I never made a highlight. Not with Barry.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Shit.
That's good. Yeah. Because there's some.
Oh
Is
my-
that run against Chicago? The run against the Bills? Is just
No.
you're making them silly.
The one against the Cowboys that he had the D lineman going like this.
Oh, yeah. That
He
was
just-
Tony Casino.
He just stopped and looked like, where did he go? That's legendary type shit. That's a man who's being paid to stop you, who could literally cannot find you.
Well, the one on Chicago, they thought they tackled him, and he just like kept going. Everybody stopped. He kept booking, and they were like, but wait. They're like, no. Touchdown.
I mean, it's Barry. Like, come on. It's Barry. Nobody got a clean, like a real. Nobody.
Right, I never seen him get lit. I've never seen him get lit.
I mean, you saw like Walter Payton. You would hear big collisions because he usually initiated them. He was looking for it, even at that size. Like, I'm bringing it.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders wasn't trying to hit anybody.
Yeah.
It's literally a
Get out your way. He was trying to gain yards, get out your way.
dude. Roger Harper.
He's trying to get out your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger Harper. It's like he was literally like a fly, like a house fly with the football.
Oh, yeah.
You go ahead and try to catch him with your hands. He just.
Exactly.
But then you had those other running backs like AP who he would give it to you, but he could also elude you. He'll make you think. He'll give it to you once or twice, and then you try to brace for it, and he's dipping on you. So those are some terrible running backs too, because they could actually truck your ass.
Well,
or then make you look silly. And you think you got plenty
He
shot on.
brought back that Jim Brown style,
Yeah.
just dirty. He'll slap you, run you over.
Yeah, give it to you any way you want it.
well, all day is my second favorite running back of all time because he can do all of it, and so could my favorite running back of all time, which is why he was my favorite running back of all time, because he literally checks all the boxes. Freddie T.
I know it.
Fred Taylor, Roger Harper.
Fred Taylor, yes, he was a classic.
That is my favorite running back of all time, still to this day.
Jaguars.
Big, will run between the tackles, will shake you, and then will break it for 80 if he needs to. Just literally checked all the. Very rare for a running back to be able to run physically through the tackles and then also go 80 yards.
Yeah.
And then Adrian Peterson this guy could have been a professional football player at 17 years old if he wanted to. If they would have legally let him, he probably could have.
Yeah, he was a bad boy in Minnesota.
My guy, Gale Sayers. I mean, that's my guy.
The sweet feet. He had those sweet feet.
Feet, baby. He had them sweet feet. You have to have them sweet feet, boy. I mean, just to think, if he didn't sustain that ACL injury back then in the 60s, when if you got it then, your career
Yeah, you're done. Over with.
still came back. I mean,
You know what's funny, Kerry? If you say the words punt return to me, the first punt return that comes to mind is Gale Sayers cutting in the mud. 6 touchdowns in one game.
Cisco.
That's the first punt return that always pops into my head, always, and always has.
And he always said he could have had 8.
Yeah.
And I believe him.
Yeah, probably could have.
Yeah.
What else did we talk about? None of this shit matters. Football's the only thing that matters. Kerry, Pacquiao is fighting again. For some reason, he's fighting Errol Spence Jr.
Oh my.
Yeah, see, Roger, you see the look on Kerry's face? This is what I'm saying. Errol Spence Jr. is like 25 years old, and that motherfucking dude. Pacquiao hasn't fought in...
This is nice.
And he's
got the glass chin. After you get it once, it's over with.
Listen,
Spence is tall, too, so he's got reach.
did you see when Pacquiao's soul got knocked out of him by Marquez?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that dude was dead.
Terrible.
All jokes aside, I thought he killed him. I thought he was dead.
I'm not joking. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, there was a moment there I thought he was actually dead.
Listen, I was like, come on, Dad. He woke up from that. Bro, go be the prime minister of the Philippines. You chilling. You've done it all.
You got Filipino Grammys. Like, you're doing everything out there. You don't need a box no more.
Like, go do that. Go be prime minister and do karaoke on the side, or do karaoke and be prime minister on the side. You don't gotta get these lumps anymore. I don't.
Never had. Well,
come on, man. What are we doing?
he must be taking
You're
care
not
of
getting
a lot of
faster.
people. You know, he likes to take care of his people where he's from. So
I mean, he about to get taken care of, though, Roger Harper. I'm a Pacquiao fan. I like Pacquiao and always have.
Take care of them. Yeah,
I have too. But you know, it's over with for him.
But
you know?
this is not. Listen, I like boxing. Errol Spence Jr. is that dude. Like, this is not a good decision on his part.
Yeah, it's not, man. I don't know who is in his camp right now, but it sounds like he just got a bunch of yes men.
Well, Kerry, the one thing I do like about it, though, Errol Spence Jr. gets Pacquiao out of the way, which is going to be sad because I am a Pac-Man fan.
Sure.
That means that Errol Spence Jr. has nothing in front of him before Terrence Crawford. Woo! Get those two.
We've been looking for that fight for a minute now.
Get those two in the ring together, and we have got fireworks.
I saw Bud fight live at MSG when that dude kept claiming that Terrence was hitting him in the nuts, and it was like this whole thing, and then he quit. It was a whole mess. But I mean, I haven't seen too many faster than Terrence Crawford with the hands.
Yeah, he's very street. He's powerful late, which is in the later rounds, it's knockout status. Like, he's knocking people out, putting them to sleep.
Like, he remind me of Pernell Whitaker. Very Googleable name, youngsters.
Sweet
Pernell
P.
Whitaker.
Sweet
Fighting out
P.
of VA, was swift.
Yo, Sweet P used to look hilarious because those gloves look so big on him.
I know, but he was fast and he was slick with the D, and he got robbed. Oh, another name, Meldrick Taylor, who definitely got robbed against Chavez.
For y'all that don't know, the think that came from Sweet Pea first. He was the first one to do that. Bink. With those big ass fucking, they look like comic. He was so tiny. Those gloves look so huge.
Well, that's the Sweet Pea loved Sugar Ray Leonard, and then Sugar Ray Leonard loved, obviously, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was all just passed down the line.
Sweet Pea, man. He R.I.P. to Sweet Pea. Didn't he pass away? Was within the last 18 months. It was like right before the Rona, I think, right?
Yep.
It was recently. Yeah, it was.
I must have missed that one.
I mean, I basically take the last 18 months and they don't count.
Yeah.
So
I actually could have not missed it, but just so much shit has gone on this whole time.
That's what I'm saying, man. These last 18 months don't even count. So for me to say recently, it was like before the last 2 years because this last 2 years has been a fucking blur at this point.
Yeah.
I can't believe. So, dude really ran onto the court, jumped up, smacked the backboard. Like you said, it's all for clout. And then Patrick Beverly literally leaned over him and was talking shit while the security guard tackled him.
Oh, no, that wasn't Pat Beverly. That was Dwight Howard.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. It is Dwight Howard. I thought it was Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, they interviewed afterwards, and he just laughed.
Oh.
He was literally laughing hysterically about it. Like, I want to know what Dwight Howard said to this dude, because Dwight Howard's weird.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's a little weird, so he probably said something funny to him.
That's exactly. He said something funny to him.
Hilarious. It had to be hilarious.
Sweet Pea died on July 14, 2019, at age 55.
Wow.
2014. See, I knew it wasn't too long ago, and I should have.
2019.
2019. I knew it wasn't too long ago, and I should have. What day was it?
July 14th.
That's my birthday. That's why I remember it wasn't too long ago. July 14th is my birthday. That's why I was saying I remember it happening recently. So it wasn't too long ago that Sweet Pea just passed on to the next level. So R.I.P. to Sweet Pea, man.
R.I.P.
What a great nickname, Sweet Pea. Woo! What a great name, man.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So Kerry, Let's talk about some football. So the Indianapolis Colts are loving Carson Wentz. It's looking like Carson Wentz might have a career resurgence because, as you know, the confidence and the camaraderie is around you. You play better. The Eagles didn't like this guy because he's changing plays in the huddle and all that. Maybe he learned his lesson. He's back with Frank. Mm-hmm. Let's not do that now.
Yeah.
So the Colts...
He found himself a gerb.
Yeah, he might have found himself a gerb. They might have found a quarterback because we all know what he's capable of, right? We all know his MVP level talent. And that roster...
Offensive line.
That roster's fucking loaded.
Game. You look at that defense. I mean, the coaching staff is proven. Colts gonna be a problem.
Yes.
I mean,
it's all up to him though. It's all on him.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta look at what their competition is. We gotta look at the Titans. Okay.
Titans and the Chiefs, basically, and the Browns, because the Browns are fucking stacked.
Well, I was just in their division.
Before you even popped on, me and Roger we had the discussion of there are basically about 4 to 6 teams that are even Super Bowl worthy, and the rest are just trying to figure when their chance is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, realistically, the Browns are a threat because they're fucking loaded. Yep. They're so stacked, it's retarded.
Yep.
And it's all about health. It's always all about health. So, another note on Carson Wentz, and this is funny because when Pat McAfee had him on his show, he's like, dude, I didn't realize how fucking big you were. So, they had they're going through OTAs right now, right? Mm-hmm. Jacoby Brisket, Carson Wentz were standing beside each other. Carson Wentz is like a foot taller than this dude.
I know, he's a big dude.
He was he's like 6'6". He was significantly bigger than his shoulders were so big too. It was just like, damn, that's the quarterback. That guy's fucking huge.
He likes to run the football too. Shit.
He's slick in the pocket.
Very. It's that knee went out, which also you can see his confidence. You can tell it's very fragile. Very fragile. He's got a very fragile psyche. You can see it. Because his knee went out and his confidence went out, and then his teammates weren't really fucking with him, and then he just lost it. He lost it altogether quickly.
Their offensive line was, come on now, they were trash.
True, and he lost it. You saw it. He sucked.
He had no confidence in them, and so he was just, He had no confidence in them, no confidence in the plays, so...
No confidence in his own knee at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Because you saw it.
The best lines in the league. One of the best running attacks in the league.
Killer knee. He's been humbled.
Yep.
So this is do I want to call it here now? Comeback player of the year, Carson Wentz? Unless somebody comes back from a major injury and balls out, he will be the comeback player of the year.
He would have to be a top candidate for sure.
Yeah, and plus they've already put him in a position to succeed anyway. The roster's fucking loaded. They're loaded.
Unless Deshaun Watson figures out a way to play. He would definitely be comeback player of the year.
If he finds a way to come back and play, they are going to rename the award after him. It will now be the Deshaun Watson comeback player of the year.
Because that cat not looking good.
It's looking like he's Darren Sharper.
Ugh.
You got that bad?
Yeah.
Oof. You don't want that.
Yeah, it's looking like he might be Darren Sharper, successful, young, good-looking dude. Just that's what he likes. That might be what he likes.
Damn, I ain't heard that one.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, the numbers are just starting to get a little bit overwhelming. When you got 25 girls all saying the exact same type of shit, and they're like, they can give you dates. They're willing to put their face out and give their names too. It's just like, uh-oh.
Oh, it is like, no, I mean, you haven't even heard a peep of his name at all, anything going on, which means some serious investigations are happening, and everybody's on lock right now.
Exactly, because if the media's not saying shit, they're probably being told, yo, shut the fuck up. This is a ongoing investigation right now, which is the only way you could ever get them to not write something, and you know that legally.
Probably gonna be one of the biggest explosions, especially whatever he did, it's gonna be crazy. What it looks like.
Yeah. So this silence is not good for him.
No, it's not. So, Kerry, Aaron Rodgers might not be playing football next year, dude.
Yeah, remember we talked about it because he had the Jeopardy. I was like, I could see him not playing. I just go and do Jeopardy and just like.
So the numbers came out between 10 and 20 million a year to do to host Jeopardy.
Mm.
You also only work 6 weeks out of the year because they film all the entire season in 6 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
I can totally see him being like, I'm good. I'm done. Pulling a Barry Sanders. Like, they have not treated me well. I'm done with this shit. I've got other shit I can do. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah. I feel the same way about that. The way I felt about Barry. I was happy to see Barry go out the way he did, but I wish he had done more. But hey, he was on top. He went out on top.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see him do it too, but at the time, I think the team they were talking about him going to was Washington, and I was like, hell nah. I definitely don't want to see that. Retire, Barry, retire. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I was Barry whatever he wanted to do. I was my man.
I didn't want that smoke.
Yeah, he was sweet.
Oh man, that's wild. So what else we got going on in the sports world? Nothing. Sports suck.
It's the basketball playoffs.
Yeah, who cares? Delaney Walker has been working out for San Francisco, so
interesting.
He might end up back with them. I could see them doing that because of Kittle's brittle health.
Kittle's brittles, yes. Yeah.
Bruce Arians has said that Tom Brady is basically going to be coaching minicamp. He says why they love Bruce. He don't even give a fuck. He'll just, fuck, whatever. Tom's coaching. As a matter of fact, I might not even show up. Fuck it. I can see him literally not even going to minicamp. Like, I got a tea time and a bottle of bourbon. I'm good.
Yeah.
Quite what a difference a year makes, Kerry. Remember this time, well, not even this time, but if you say even the beginning of the season when they were really struggling, and we talked about it, there's an underlining, it might not be a real power struggle like that would tear other teams apart, but there was a philosophy struggle going on in the beginning. And then once Bruce even said it, once I just fucking Tom wants to do something, I just say, yeah, go ahead and do it. And then they just took off.
Yeah, that's when it changed.
So what's Bruce Arians?
I just let him do what he had to do.
Bruce Arians is literally the most laid back NFL coach in the history of the league. Of course he's going to be like, yeah, whatever. Imagine it. Their camp is going to be the funnest camp in the history of football.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, like, look at it. I would say he took a page out of Tone Dungy, who literally was the most laid back dude. He was just like, Peyton, he knows what he's doing. Just go ahead. I'm gonna keep everybody just like this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so before you got here, the one thing that Roger and I talked about the most of the first hour was the Bucs going undefeated, because they actually have a real chance, and they know it.
Yeah.
And they've already won a Super Bowl with everybody, the main players on that roster, so it's not about getting a ring. They are literally trying to go undefeated, which is so rare that they're be like, no, this is the goal. And they have the one guy who has been to the cusp of the mountain and denied by one Eli Manning.
Oh, this is what happens.
It happened. I had to see. I gave you that one there. I gave you that one.
But Tom will say, "I want to go undefeated." Like,
exactly. So,
I guarantee you, he's telling him that. Like,
and you have that's the one guy as a leader who can keep a team locked in. Like, this is the one goal. 20 games though, Kerry.
Imagine the way he's hyping them. So imagine if we're undefeated, we would have won more games than Miami in the same state, Florida. So not only do we own the state now, we'll own a record I couldn't see anybody even matching. But you're gonna blow their record out, and you tell these guys, especially the guys who are not even, who rarely play or just play special teams or whatever, you get to live on for infinity.
He loves that.
We're still talking about those 72 Dolphins.
Yeah, Kerry.
They're still popping bottles and smoking cigars every time a team that almost goes undefeated loses. So he's selling them on the fact this could be them.
Yo, he's got a picture of Mercury Morris in the Bucks locker room with a bottle of Moet.
You know what I mean?
Smiling like. So it's funny because people have leaked some audio, so you know that's Tom's go-to thing for motivation. This is about legacy. This is about honor. This is about your family's honor. Like he did it in New England. Yeah. And then when he went to the Bucks and they said that that's the speech, I'm like, that's the same speech he gave in New England. That's Tom's go-to shit.
Works.
Oh, of course it works. So now knowing this is,
if you have an Al Pacino any given Sunday speech, are you gonna change a single word?
No. Yo, so could you imagine?
Over and over again.
Could you imagine?
Every time I hear it.
Could you imagine the speech that Tom is going to give about legacy and honor pre-Super Bowl if they're undefeated this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be hype.
And some of the coaches, there might be a coach that has a heart attack. He gets so hyped. They might have to have the paddles in the locker room, man, for that speech because he's going to have people hyped, man. You know how football players are.
I tell you, we was playing high school. We was playing like this. We was just coming out of camp, and we were playing this one team a little further upstate, and they had this quarterback who was like Randall Cunningham-esque, and all that. Was hyping him up, and so our coach pregame, he comes in there and he's just like, "This is what." He's giving this speech, and we're getting all hyped. And he just starts chanting, and we go nuts, and we just run his ass over. He said, wait, fellas. Ran his ass over and went straight to the field. Got out the way.
That is an effective pregame speech.
And you can't hype up a bunch of bulls and expect them to not charge.
Yo, I got a funny story like that before I'll close this section down and open up a new one. So, same thing running out of the locker room, except we're supposed to come out of the door, congregate as a team, and then run through the things. Well, Nick Richmond didn't get the memo on the procedure, and as soon as the doors opened, ran through the shit by himself, right under the middle of the field.
Probably sprinted as fast as he's ever sprinted.
As fast as he's ever run in his life, son.
Wow.
Broke through all the fucking papers so that they couldn't even hold it up for the team when we actually came out. And ran right out to the middle of the field by himself and was hyped. It was just there, standing there literally by himself.
That's funny.
The walk of shame was so impressive to walk back because he didn't even jog. He just walked back with his head down. Like he just knew, man, I just fucked up. The team didn't have no paper to run through anymore. We look lame coming out the tunnel now.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got a cheerleader over there just holding one of the things up. Just try. She was trying at least. Oh, shout out to Nick Richmond for that dumb shit. You fucking idiots. All right, let me shut this one down and I'll re-up and then we will jump in. I believe we're talking about the Vikings this week.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know until I opened up this session and said, all right, we got to do Great Matter. So I just opened up all the Viking shit. We'll run through the other things that are happening in the NFL before we talk about them. So that'll give you about 2 minutes to do some research. See you in 45 seconds. Luke, what up, homie? Yeah, welcome to Gray Matter, where all we do is smoke blunts and talk about football with my homies. It's 99% football talk. We might bring up some other sports, but only because it's the off-season right now and there's not a whole lot to talk about. Now, Nice is usually our third co-host, but who knows what the fuck Nice is doing right now. It's probably too nice out for him to join us. But yeah, This is what we do, homie. Now, imagine if Flea is not watching, then he will be soon. Flea is our most dedicated Gray Matter fan. It's hot as shit in here right now. You know, look at my eyes are matching my shirt. That's fucking nuts. Oh, this light is too hot. Too hot. Gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Yo, so, not that this matters, because who cares about hockey? The Edmonton
Oilers.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was the Oilers. It says their CFL team.
Oh, wait, Edmonton.
Yeah, what's the CFL team? They changed their name. Now I have to look it up. I'm interested.
I know it's the Toronto Argonauts. I know Saskatchewan has a team.
The Eskimos.
I was wondering if it was the Eskimos.
I guess they want to be, PC and all that and don't want to culturally appropriate the Inuit people and whatnot. So they've changed their name to the Elks.
The Elks. All right.
Their logo's pretty fucking dope. I will give them credit on that. What about the Elks? You not culturally appropriating these elks?
These elk people. The elk people stand against you. Your nickname shaming.
All right, so Rex Burkhead joins the Texans. Another list of longtime expatriates running down there for some fucking reason.
Not a blip on the radar.
Before their career's over. That's like the end of your career. It's like retirement home.
That's what the Texans have become. Yes.
Yeah, isn't that terrible? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got going on. I don't know if you saw the footage of Tim Tebow working out.
He looks like a monster.
Jesus Christ, he got huge.
Yeah, he's...
So what everybody's asking was just like, he was playing professional baseball for a few years. He got awful big while he's playing baseball.
I don't know the baseball player's diet.
There's that one guy, that one guy that got real good.
Yeah.
He was already really good, and he got really, really good.
Really, really good, and his cranium...
His head got...
sizes.
Just kept getting bigger and bigger while the rest of him didn't.
That guy. Yeah, I know.
It's like he made a deal with the devil that every home run that he hit, his head got bigger.
Yeah. He's cranking him.
Oh, boy, he was. I never seen anybody with bases loaded get an intentional walk.
And he broke the record in H-Town while I was in H-Town. The city went nuts. Nuts.
Yeah, so Tim Tebow, that guy's jacked right now.
Monster.
Like, jacked.
But his workouts, though, are also pretty legendary.
It's Tebow.
Yeah, he's gonna do Timmy Teeps things. So yeah.
Jake,
I mean, they all respect him.
They should.
They want him on the squad.
Well, he's got the number one selling jersey in the NFL right now already.
I mean, like the teammates want him. Trevor Lawrence, I want him here.
Yeah. Of course you do it. It's Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Anything bad happens, you could just blame him, and he'll just go give an incredible speech.
They're gonna find a way to keep him to make the roster.
Yeah, Roger Harper, did you see the video of Tim Tebow working out at OTAs?
No, I did not.
He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. He is absolutely fucking jacked, dude. Like, huge. Huge. I wasn't mad at him catching fluidly with his hands, too. It wasn't like a choppy motion. It looked natural almost. I was like, uh-oh, he's going to make the team. Mm-hmm. He's already leading the NFL in jersey sales. He's going to make the team just to keep making money. And like we said, Kerry, I just mentioned it to Roger. Roster spots, everyone's like, oh, some guy's not. He took some guy's job who deserves it. Roster spots 54 through 70 are all going to play during the season anyway because of injuries. Calm the fuck down.
The average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of toxic.
Tim Tebow has 5 to 20 pounds of muscle and eat. You know, his arms. He looked like David Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was huge. Well,
David Boston got massive.
David Boston should have switched to tight end. He got so big.
He should have switched to D end.
He needed to switch to the WWE. He got jacked.
Real. He should have had a career like that. Michael Westbrook just went UFC.
So Aaron Rodgers' most likely landing spot is Denver. So now here's the real intriguing thing, because this Julio news, Shannon Sharpe outing Julio, which Julio did not know he was going to be on the show when Shannon called him, so he was not necessarily ready to break that news. Yeah, that's come out that Julio did not know he was on the show. He thought Shannon was just calling him, because he did call him on his phone. It wasn't like a scheduled call in. He just called him right there. So supposedly he didn't know. I don't believe that shit at all. I think he's just using that as a way to get the fuck out of there. But now that he wants out, the rumor is that him and Aaron Rodgers are conspiring to land somewhere together.
Why not Denver? Or why not
Denver has the wide receiver room that they could trade assets to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton.
I like him. I like him a lot.
Or you could give him Hamler and a pick.
But Jerry Jeudy, maybe Jerry Jeudy, I would try to keep KJ Hamler.
That's what I'm saying. So you have the receivers to where you can move an asset and a pick. It doesn't have to necessarily be a number one pick. Because somebody has already offered a number one for Julio, but it's not a number one this year.
Yeah.
It's a future number one. So they were saying that it might come down to a second or third round pick. Now, could you imagine if Julio goddamn Jones goes for a third round pick and your team didn't send a third round pick to get this guy?
That would be incredible. I would, just because it doesn't make enough sense to me, but Denver makes the most sense to me. But, I mean, there's still Vegas. I mean,
quarterback-wise, yes. Julio, I actually see him doing exactly what happened in the great annals of wide receiver history before. He's walking a path that has been laid before him. Randy Moss got traded for a third-round fucking pick and went to New England and put himself in the Hall of Fame. Guaranteed, like, there's no questions after that. Yeah. Went from being like, this guy is one of the greatest ever to one of the 100 best players ever, literally, officially. So,
yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's ever going to break. Well, they might now at 17 games possibly, but that touchdown record, 26 in one season receiving. I don't know, dude. That's
and how are we going to look at these records now with the extra game?
The same way you look at the 14 games. You're going to look at like, oh, OJ did that 2,000 yards in 14 games. You're always going to have to say that.
Yeah, you have to say that
because it was. I mean, that didn't happen. I don't know. When did they change from 14 to 16? I don't remember it, but I know that it happened.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
It might have been the 70s then, because I don't remember it happening.
I can't give you the exact year on that one.
I don't know either. Shit. I played it was 16.
That's what I think it was the 70s. What did OJ play? Because he had 14 games.
Well, he played in the 70s.
Yeah, so it was late 70s or early 80s that it switched to 16. So it'll just be the same thing. And, Kerry, come on. We know what the ultimate goal is. It's not 17 games. It's 18.
Yeah.
It's 18. 2 preseason games, 18 regular season games. We know it's going to happen. You know it. The 17's a weird number. They would never stop on that.
Yeah.
But you can't just jump to 18. They would never. You gotta. It's a slow kill. 1,000 paper cuts. So we get 17. It might not even be 10 years of 17. I bet you it won't even be a full decade before they switch to 18. Especially with the salary cap jump. So when these players see this money jump, they might not be against it so much. So the salary cap for next season has already been released, and it's back up above $200 million. Yeah, so it will be 250 by 2025, which is what they said.
Yeah.
So this is a one-year anomaly this year. Next year, it's already back up because the new TV deals have been made, and that new TV deal was fucking billions and billions. And they made a deal with Amazon. Was Amazon doing Thursday Night Football now? I think they got it exclusively.
Yeah, they got a certain amount of games.
Yeah, so they're doing all these streaming deals now that go on with the network deals. So it's not like you're losing a network deal. You're getting to add these streaming deals also because you have to. More people actually watch streaming than real network anyway.
That's them because especially you don't have like your local channels or whatever.
I mean, and most people, honestly, you don't get to watch the team that you want to.
Right.
Even if it's a home team that has an away game, you're not going to get to watch it.
That's going to be blacked out.
So, I mean, as a Patriots fan living in New York, I had to stream Patriots games my entire life because it didn't matter if they were playing at home. New York football was not going to stream a fucking Patriots game. They would play golf or tennis or something, dude. They never played Patriots. It was never football on both channels that the Pats were playing. That shit used to piss me off so much. But I get it. I get the right. I actually respect it. I could fuck with it. I would want it to be like that. It should be. It's football. Fuck you.
How about the Saints? Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones.
Yeah, you could get rid of Michael Thomas because he never stops bitching.
I would try to make it work with Michael Thomas.
Of course you would.
Michael Thomas and Julio.
So,
you got a defense, got a run game.
Of course, it's like, boy, what?
They can't tell me that they're just like.
Yo, so Roger and Carey, imagine if some random team does pull this off before the season starts.
That's why I'm like, I'm running through the teams in my head to see who even makes any sort of sense.
I don't even care how the season plays out. Whoever that GM is the GM of the year. That you land Aaron Rodgers and Julio.
Yeah. So I can only see Denver, Vegas, New Orleans.
New Orleans, so he can get back at the Falcons.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as Julio,
and then Aaron could get back at Tampa Bay.
As far as Julio moving on his own, which is a distinct possibility, because landing both of those is like pure fantasy football at this point.
Sure. Yep.
The rumor right now is Julio to the Seahawks.
Huh.
And I'm just like, first of all, who are they going to give up for Julio to get that? It's going to be draft picks, so maybe they have. But then I'm thinking, well, they already have Julio. They got a younger guy. Yeah, they got a younger one.
Yeah, and then if you want to play your speedy rookie, Eskridge, you already got.
And you have Tyler Lockett, so you're not going to have him play the slot because you have one of the best slots in football.
Yeah.
Who has outstanding rapport with his quarterback.
Yeah.
You cannot fuck that up. Those two play literally on the same page.
Absolutely. So he's not sitting.
Yeah, so I thought it's weird that that's like the thing, but I just, as a football mind, that doesn't really fit.
Well, I mean, but you also remember they tried to make Josh Gordon work twice. So in that mind state, this is like trying to do that again.
It is, but it's not going to work.
But I don't know.
Because you've got Metcalf already.
I know.
And that guy I know that's Julio, but Metcalf is is really fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Julio used to be that guy.
Yeah.
So what Julio has to do is study what Larry Fitzgerald did at the end of his career in order to extend it longer.
So like now he's doing slants. He's going inside. Is he a willing blocker?
These are the things that you're going to have to do because Larry could literally play as long as he wants to.
And he was a willing blocker. And he still could break you off as Green Bay.
Yeah.
On the full of plays, he's breaking 60.
Not only did he become a willing blocker, he became an excellent blocker. But that's just Larry Fitzgerald. Be like, all right, I got to block now. I'm going to become the best at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't that Hines Ward style of blocking because Hines Ward put people to sleep.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Hines Ward didn't just run up to you and seal you off.
Night. Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't that big. They just be like, get the fuck out of here, Hines. He fucking crown of the helmet to chinned players and then smiled. And I loved it. I hated Pittsburgh, but I loved Hines Ward.
He uses leverage.
Oh, my God. And boy, did he have it. See, there's certain players, it doesn't matter how big they are. They understand leverage and timing. And they're just like a boxer with a knockout punch. And Hines Ward just happened to play receiver, but he had that knockout punch.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been an incredible safety.
Oh, for sure.
If he had just done that his whole life, he would have been probably one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Even if he would have switched because he played quarterback, so he had the quarterback mentality. If he would have just been like, I'm going to play safety and figure this out, he would have been amazing.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Bob Sanders is another one of my favorite little guy hitters.
Putting dudes to sleep.
Putting himself to sleep.
Also that.
Yeah.
Ryan Clark did that a lot too.
Yeah, Ryan Clark would actually put himself to sleep just as many times as he knocked out other players. But I respect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I respect it because you knew it was coming.
For sure.
And there were just bodies on the ground. It didn't matter how many times it happened to him. He just didn't give a fuck. He only played one way.
That was it. He couldn't. Once you start hesitating, it's a wrap.
Yeah. He never stopped playing that way. Ever. See, Brian Dawkins was that's like a real football player. Atwater was another small player who understood leverage and timing. He was the perfect example of it.
Oh, yeah,
because
sure.
he played.
When you knock out Christian Okoye and Barry Word, yeah.
And talk shit after you do it. Bow. Motherfucker. Didn't he? And he didn't even go down when he hit Okoye. He's popped them and stood over him.
Yeah.
That is impressive because
Exactly.
the other one, Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh yeah, he used to knock people out too,
Pass blocking. He used to lay people out.
People out pass blocking. When I saw him catch linebackers and DNs, I was like, man, this cat here.
That one against Sean Merriman is still the one.
One against Sean Merriman?
Dude, Merriman almost did a flip. It's just those legs and that he was so small, that leverage. Mm-hmm. You can't come in all high. You're going right over. As soon as you put your arm up, it's over for you instantly. All right, what else is going on before we talk about these terrible, terrible 8-8, soon to be 8-8-1, Captain Kirk led Minnesota Vikings. Mm-hmm. They had a window for a while, Kerry. They had it looked like they had a real championship window. They had that D line that was incredible.
Yep.
And they were getting busy, and then they just
had Cook. You had Diggs. You had Thielen. You had Rudolph. I mean, you had playmakers on defense.
Yeah, but you got Captain 500 at quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy because
when they were balling. It was because they was with Case Keenum.
Exactly, which showed you that it was a quality team, which led you to believe all we have to do is upgrade at quarterback and we'll be there. And
they got duped.
And they did because they didn't really upgrade at quarterback because Captain Kirk isn't really that much better than Case Keenum, really.
And they really rocked with Case.
That's what I'm saying. So you saw if you put a good team around that quarterback, Case actually played really well.
That's what I'm saying.
And then You put a different quarterback in that same team, and they just went because nobody likes Cap. You can tell nobody likes this guy. I guarantee you, Roger Harper, that when Kirk Cousins gives a speech in the locker room, nobody's fucking paying attention.
Yeah.
They're probably looking at him like, yo, shut the fuck up, man.
All right.
What do you say coming to the locker room that time?
You like that?
Like that?
You like that?
You like that?
The media listened to his ass. Nobody else.
I will give him credit.
I will give him props for getting for just taking Washington for everything. Like whatever you want to keep franchising me. All right, let's go. Let's get it. All right, do it again.
Yeah,
all right,
$40 million. I'm with it.
I'm just gonna make it.
Yeah, I will give him props that whenever the roadie first hit the world, he said that if I die, I die. That he's playing football no matter what. He literally pulled out, "If I die, I die."
Wow.
I guess he thought he was fighting Ivan Drago.
Right.
This is why I can tell you there's not a single player that listens to his pregame speeches.
I must break you.
Yeah, I look at him just be like, yo, I got my headphones on. Shut up, Kirk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to Mobb Deep right now. Shut the fuck up. So Janoris Jenkins had his Rolls Royce stolen from an airport parking lot. Here's the tragic part in that. He
couldn't cover that either?
Nah, he left it. He couldn't because he left it in economy parking.
Oh, boy.
See, Kerry, you executed that one well. That was well done because I don't even think that you knew that he left it in economy.
I didn't.
He did. It's a Rolls Royce, dude. Why you not leave it in like secured parking? He left it in.
Crazy.
And surprise, it wasn't there when you got back.
Oh man.
Hilarious, Janoris.
And this was in the NO, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, he was begging for it to be taken.
Yeah, what are you doing down there? So Mac Jones has been impressing Patriots staff with his ability to retain the Patriots playbook so easily and so quickly, which photographic memory, we knew this was going to be his strong suit. This is where Mac Jones is going to hit the ground running now.
Yeah.
When the football pads get on, that's when the questions were really going to get answered.
Who's ripping it?
Yeah, mentally, it's not an issue. We knew that already. They've been saying that about him. But to have... Also, I think this is a different Patriots team. I think even Bill's different. They're going to have to... I think there is a little effort to try to shed the evil empire moniker. So there's a lot of positivity coming out of Patriots camp radar nowadays, Kerry, which is... This is not things that we're used to. These positive words about players.
Interesting.
The Patriots fan in me says, I don't believe none of this shit.
Right.
Because I believe it's all just fluff to try to make it look like, oh, no. Nah. It's great over here. It's awesome over here. Like, Tom was wrong.
Right, because everybody's seeing how light and airy Tom has been and how he's been joking, going back and forth in social media with Aaron Rodgers and Phil Mickelson and all that. So he's just like, you've never seen Tom like that before. And they're like, wow, Gronk is crazy happy. You know, everybody that's bounced is like, yeah, I had to get out of there. Woo!
Yeah, exactly. So they got to try to shed that image a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Even if not, well, I mean, the way that they got free agents in there this year is we're just going to pay you. Who wants money here?
But it's like the only ones who go back or the ones who leave realize they're not that good on another squad and that they're going to be their best.
Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy's back.
Right? They go back.
Patrick Chung, when he went to Philly for that year, came right back and was right back to being
killing it.
Yeah, right back to being everybody Pat Chung tonight.
Yep.
See, I got to say it again. I thought I was never going to get to say that again.
I got you, homie.
Yeah. I mean, what a fantastic nickname. Can't believe Chris Berman never used that once.
Funny.
That is such a Chris Berman name. Everybody Pat Chung tonight. Come on, Chris Berman. A whole career you missed out on that one. Let's see. Yeah, the Falcons have received a first-round pick for Julio Jones, but they will not say who it was, though sources are saying it was the Titans.
I was thinking about the Titans.
No, that'd be awesome. You lose
was
Corey
thinking-
Davis. He doesn't have to be the big guy because A.J. Brown's already a stud.
Because we were thinking about packages, so I thought Titans, but I was like Tannehill. I mean Aaron Rodgers, but
I just imagine because, like we said, that package deal is not going to happen. There's not this late in the game. The draft has already happened. It's too late.
Yeah, but I could see that though. They do need more help at receiver.
It just
they're Adam Humphries.
Yeah, no, it just makes sense because you're also looking at the Julio Jones that you have, not the Julio Jones that you want to have. This isn't Madden.
Right.
He's not just going to be a 97 overall because he's Julio Jones.
You got A.J. Brown there.
Yeah, that guy, and him and Tannehill.
So you can't double both. So,
And you can't worry. You have to one-on-one him. You got that motherfucking freight train in the backfield.
Exactly.
Who is squatting 600 pounds in sets like it's nothing with chains on the end of the fucking bar.
Yeah, everything he does is with chains. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting.
It's just not fair. You want to talk? You said there are giants amongst us. That's a running back.
Yeah.
That's a running back who's bigger than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like you see those videos of you see those videos of that one kid that looks like he got held back 3 times in grade school, and he's just bigger than everyone else. That's not supposed to happen in the NFL.
Yeah, man.
Derrick Henry looks like he's that much bigger. Like when D-backs come up, come on, Josh Norman, get out of here. Shot puts, get the fuck out of here. They look like little children around him.
Ooh. You get caught with a stiff on, that shit is embarrassing. That shit just don't feel good, you know what I'm saying? But his stiff arm, you down, you might get a concussion.
Yeah,
the way my man is stiff arming people.
Well, see, you have to look at the timing of it. His timing on it is different, all right? So there's different types of stiff arms. There's the one that just gets them straight, right? And then there's the ones like Derrick Henry who will...
He's mushing people.
He will... He's like...
Yeah.
It's like he's Reggie White and he's looking to create contact.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have the ones that wait till the body gets in, and then they're so strong, they just fucking shot put him off.
Yeah.
But he's literally looking to hit people.
Right.
He's open hand slapping people
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's so fucking gigantically huge. I would never try to tackle that human. Could you imagine the move that Deion Sanders would make one-on-one with Derrick Henry to get out of his way? Whoop! Nope. Business decision.
He do the turf toe move. Yeah.
He said it. This is a business decision. I'm paid to cover people, not tackle them.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know how many people grab at their knee and grab at their ankle after they just got torched? They just got burnt. Dude's like, hold up, my ankle. Hold up. Come get me. But the next series, they're out there.
My hamstring.
Yeah.
I caught a cramp.
Yeah. Going out.
All right, so what else is going on? Carrie, you texted me. Shout out Adam Vinatieri, greatest kicker in league history. It won't even be by the numbers, even though he is the leading scorer. He's not percentage-wise, but there has never been anyone who has made more clutch kicks that mattered more than that guy. You see, as a Pats fan, you guys might not remember these, but in each of the Super Bowl winning kicks and in the snow game, he missed kicks before those ones that he made. It wasn't like he was just on all day. He had actually previously missed, so when it came up to those money kicks, in the beginning, you're all like, oh, fuck. But then we quickly learned that when it counts the most, it's money time. Bang, 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 bang. That kick in the snow, what was that, 42 yards or whatever, literally in a blizzard, is the greatest kick we've ever seen.
Which, in that call where we discovered this tuck rule, it
did lay the foundation for that kick.
That's what I'm saying. It shifts things in history. I'm saying the one we talked about before, the one thing, the one play that could shift the whole player's career. Charles Woodson causes that fumble, but then they say it's not a fumble. But they recover the ball, the Raiders are going to win that game, and they're going to the Super Bowl. And that changes the trajectories of a lot of different players. And,
Well, especially you think the Raiders go to that Super Bowl and don't beat those Rams because those Rams were built to beat everybody except the Patriots because Belichick figured out a way to beat that offense.
So now we're looking at Kurt Warner, 2-time, 3-time MVP of the league.
Back-to-back chips.
Back-to-back chips.
Marshall Faulk back. All those receivers, everybody gets back-to-back now.
We're looking at Cole. Yeah.
Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
Looks completely different. It's crazy because he said that what the fuck did he say? That it was actually Gruden's fault that they won that game because in overtime Gruden called timeout instead of allowing the clock to run, which would have made them kick in the snow. He said in his interview with Pat McAfee, he's just like, "Oh, Gruden called timeout. It gave us time to clear out the field." He's like, "We wouldn't actually made that kick if he wouldn't have called timeout. It's actually his fault."
True. Yeah, they were clear. Yeah, they were kicking away the snow.
All of it. They just sat there and chunked it away for a solid. It was a TV timeout too, so that's a good minute or two. Mm-hmm. And that, the one in overtime was a chip shot. It wasn't like the one where they didn't get time to clean it out. And he said I think it was Adam Walter was the holder for that one. Said that in that type of foot, you just catch it and put it down. There is no laces out. He said the laces were in. It was all Adam Vinatieri that did all that on his own. Which is why he will be the first special teams player in history that will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he should be. He should be.
Yeah, why not?
Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
This guy won multiple Super Bowls on his leg. Yeah. Game-winning kicks. Like, you have to give it to him. Yeah. And
he's clutch.
He's got 4 of them.
Yeah.
Four rings. 2 Super Bowl winning kicks, but 4 rings because he got one with Indy.
Yep, it does.
So, has to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Good for him. As a Patriots fan, fucking awesome watching this kid from South Dakota State that went to the World League and played as his way into the NFL. That is incredible. It ends up being the greatest kicker who's ever lived. Mm-hmm. At this point, somebody will be better, but right now, he's the Bob Orry of kickers. Mm-hmm. You needed a 3-pointer, you send it to Adam Vinatieri, he will hit it.
Yeah.
Awesome. That dude was awesome. It's funny because he was not amazingly accurate when it didn't count. And we kind of knew it. Like, wait a minute, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. Who cares? He'll make it when it matters. All right, so let's talk about these Minnesota Vikings. Unless I can find any other news on NFL.com. No, they're all just talking about Aaron Rodgers still. I mean, has there ever Reggie White, I guess, Peyton Manning level, like free agent level, being on the move, possibly?
Yeah, sure.
Reggie White, because no player that big no one had ever done free agency, really.
No.
A big player was never going to attempt it. You were getting paid already back then.
Right.
And taken care of. So he set the precedence. And then Peyton Manning was a little bit different, guys, because it was injury forced.
Yeah, and then the franchise had clearly moved on.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't even know if he was going to be able to play. Yeah. So after that 1 year of sitting out, when there's speculation that he might come back and you've got the number 1 pick and Aaron Luck is sitting right there, it's time to move on. And Irsay told him. Peyton Manning said it. They sat down and had a real talk. It was just like, nah. Dude, we got Andrew Luck coming. Like, we can do this, and we don't know what we got with you. It might only be a year or 2 left, and we can get this guy for, 15. Right. And even Peyton Manning's a smart dude. He knows. And at the same time, he wanted to keep playing football, or else he wouldn't have been going to Germany and getting stem cell injections and shit. So,
and I would say, even though he didn't show everything he was going to be yet, but you had a good idea what he was going to be when Indy traded Marshall Faulk to the Rams.
Yes.
Because they had drafted Adrian James. That was a huge move because Marshall Faulk was getting busy.
Most underrated move in front office history. I didn't even think about it. You get rid of Marshall motherfucking Falk because you got this guy. And you know what? It was funny because you remember Adrian James, the Golds, the locks, the way he talked, scrimp, you straight, straight Miami, man, straight Miami, right? Incredible fucking football player, though.
Absolutely.
Like, Hall of Fame.
Smart. No, he is. He was crazy smart. Yeah. He knew the game.
Knew the game of football, and really, really, that was just a home run for them because he actually fit what they do better than Marshall Falk did. Because Marshall Falk fit more what they were doing in the Rams
because
anyway.
Also, you had a young Peyton, so he would just get it to Marshall, and Marshall would get busy.
Yeah, so it's just like, so it's kind of like, didn't that what Bill O'Brien was saying about DeAndre Hopkins? Oh, we had to let DeAndre go because it was just like a 1, 2, 3, throw it to DeAndre. Like, I'm saying that was his justification.
And it was successful though when you did it, you idiot. You
Yeah.
got rid of him, and then you were Garbaggio.
Well, he's back in New England anyway.
Yeah.
He's on the staff somewhere. Yo, so motherfucking Matt Patricia's back on the staff, and it's basically. Now here's the funny thing, Kerry. He's the last name that is signed off on everything right now.
Really?
Yeah, this is interesting. So the last name on all of the draft picks that signed off was Matt Patricia. Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia. This is interesting because Belichick doesn't do things unless there's intention behind it. So now he's got his whiz kid from the Northeast back in his wings, and I always had this inkling that Belichick doesn't really like Josh McDaniels that much, and never did.
And that Patricia's really his guy?
And Patricia's always been his guy.
Yeah.
Because they're very similar, very gruff, very grizzly, from the Northeast. Fucking Patricia just sits there with the beard and doesn't say anything. He's a rocket scientist.
He is?
Yeah, Patricia has a degree in rocket science, dude. He's ultra smart.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
No, that's why when they hired, I was just like, yeah, this is such a New England hire, this guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to I forget what school he went to, but he's a rocket scientist. He's like Mensa smart, ultra smart.
Yeah.
And so he's back, and he's the last name signing off on things in the Patriots totem pole right now, and not McDaniels. And now you remember McDaniels left once already, went to Denver, came back with his tail between his legs, humbled himself for a while, and then left again, didn't even make it to Indy, and turned the jet around.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because now you see how Indy's roster's loaded now. If McDaniels would have been there, it wouldn't have played out the way it did, and they wouldn't be the roster they are. They never would have drafted Leonard.
Right.
I
like Frank Reich being with them.
That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't have traded a first-round pick for Buckner, Rhodes. All these things that they've built wouldn't have happened, right? So you can't look at it and be like, oh, it would have been exactly the same. And that's not how sports work. But, so he's already gone twice. So there's already enough going on to make Josh McDaniels be like, all right, I will go somewhere else.
You New England coaches be doing that. Romeo Crennel left, came back. Charlie Weiss left, came back.
Okay, so the allowing the coaches to come back. There is a power play in Belichick doing that.
Okay.
You go and be unsuccessful somewhere else, and then you come back and then humble yourself in front of the man.
Yeah, you listen to all of my syllables.
All of them. So, knowing Belichick for the last 20-plus years, 100% does that on purpose. This guy is the evil. He is Palpatine. He is. He is. He wears the hoodie. It's perfect. It's the evil empire. They have the Death Star. They fucking Darth Vader is actually just turned back into Anakin Skywalker and went to Tampa Bay all of a sudden. The parallels are unprecedented, right? It's incredible. But he's evil. So if you interview any other coaches about, it's funny. It's the Offseason, watching the Pat McAfee show, the shit that they talk about, the guests come on and what they talk about. And any of the, assistant coaches that come on or whatnot, It doesn't matter what team they coach for. They all say the same thing. Man, if we see a plane fly overhead, a camp or whatnot, we all think it's fucking the Patriots.
Yeah.
Every one of them says the same thing.
I don't blame 'em.
It's Belichick. It has to be.
Yeah.
Every single thing. They think that, like, the Patriots have somebody that works at FedEx in each
Down
city.
everything. Right.
Like, everything. Like, they just... The fear is Belichick has infiltrated everyone's minds.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest with you, that is probably a Patriots plane. Robert Kraft is a fucking billionaire. He can afford that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He has shown you time and time again that he will do whatever it takes to get these chips. It does not matter. Filming the Bengals, whatever. No one will even believe it. I guarantee you that was the discussion, Kerry. No one's even going to believe that we're going to film the Bengals. Just do it.
He's shown himself to be quite Teflon too.
Yeah. Yes.
So, feelings.
Well, I mean, when you are, when you sit on billions and billions and billions, and you are also like the NFL, the representative. He's like the chairman of the fucking NFL, dude. Like he's like the guy of all the guys. He's the guy.
Yeah.
And then he's also has made his billions before he came into New England and got Gillette and all that in Russia. So that's Russian billions. Like, get away with a lot of shit, dude. Getting a happy ending at a massage parlor is the least of their crimes, I'm sure.
Right. Word.
I can assure you that, dude. So, all right, let me end this one because we got 2 minutes left, and then you helped me expertly stretch that one out before we started the Vikings, before the next one was up. I appreciate that one. See, we're getting better at this, people. The off-season, it's working. All right, I'll see you in 45. All right, let me start a new one. That is hilarious because the Patriots are the evil empire. You're talking to one of the biggest Patriots fans in existence, and I will openly admit it. Whatever it takes. We don't give a fuck. Get those titles. Now, a funny thing that my dad always said about people complaining about living in America and things of that nature, and about how awful it is. At least you're playing for the winning team. So, that's how Patriots fans view the Patriots' tactics. Hey, whatever it takes, and at least we're playing for the winning team. So it's always a race to see who's going to chime in first between Roger and Kerry. So email gets sent to both of them at the same time. Season 2, I got to stop being... either use something besides Zoom or just pay for their retarded subscription so we don't have to end these segments at an hour each. But it does make a perfect break to roll a blunt. All right. So, Patriots, Ernie Acosta. That was the guy's name when we were talking about. That's the guy. That's the guy. It's Ernie.
Got it.
So that's the guy who crunches numbers and looks at rule books and does all that Patriot stuff. It's that guy. This is his last season.
Yeah.
Which, as a Patriots fan, man, that's going to be sad to fucking lose that guy. Because he is the edge that we had over top of everybody because no one else had that guy. Who literally, you got guys who sit there and watch film. You got scouts that live on the road and never stop. This what they do, right? This guy just looks at the rule book. He's not watching film. He's going through the rule book and law books and shit trying to figure out legal edges within the game. Incredible. Why wouldn't you? It's $1 billion franchise. Multiple billions.
Yeah.
You win a Super Bowl, look at the money, the inflow of money from being successful. So, I don't know if you know how soccer works because I don't really know, but just by watching other sports shows, I've learned So there's like the Champions League.
Hmm.
And in order to be in the Champions League, you have to win
Yeah.
to even get in it.
Yep.
And it's a tiered system like that. So if you suck
Because you'll get relegated, so then you'll dip down to
yeah, so if you have a bad season, you go down to the lower levels.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of fucking cool. I kind of actually like that.
Yeah. Because trust me, there's been some teams. The Browns should have been relegated a few times. You know what I'm saying? Jets should have been relegated.
The Lions, Jesus
Lions
Christ.
most definitely should have been relegated. Yeah.
So it's interesting how that works, but the guy was saying that if you make it to the Champions League, that you are basically guaranteed $500 million up front. And then every game that you play in that league, that you can stay in the league, $100 million minimum.
The soccer players are disgustingly rich. Even for a team to say, I want to get this, so it's not really trading, it's transferring. The team has to pay a fee, so you have to pay millions just to even do the thing.
Dude, they paid. There's been
on top of the salary that they get.
There's been players that they've had to pay like $250 million to have them, and then you could rent players.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Right.
But just getting into that league, $500 million for your team, and then every game is another $100 million. You can make $1 billion for your franchise just exist. Look at how that changes everything, because now you can afford good players. Changes everything, right? That's incredible. I kind of like how that shit is set up. You know, it's interesting because, like you said, LSU probably could have stepped up at Alabama. There's been some Alabama teams that could have stepped up to the NFL for a couple years. Right. Ohio State has had USC back in the
Miami, do you?
Miami in their early 90s run, they could have been like, oh, this is too easy.
Or in their early 2000s run, too.
Yeah, so speaking of LSU,
yeah,
I got into a track and field. You're a track guy. You'll like this. A track and field rabbit hole on YouTube recently. And apparently LSU is where everybody fast goes to school now. So
there've been a lot of champions coming out of LSU.
All right, so the number 1 and number 2 world ranked 200, both of them go to LSU. The chick with blue hair, who is like the number 1 world ranked 100-meter sprinter, went to LSU and then turned pro after her freshman year because she's already too good. This kid, Terrence Laird, this little light-skinned kid, who has the worst starts of anyone I've ever seen. Yo, Carrie, you have to look this guy up. From 60 to 100, I have never seen anybody faster than this in my life. Like, he's all running in college. I think he's a sophomore. He's running a 9.8 flat. Yeah, like his kid can fucking move. And then, so if you imagine his kick at the 100, his 200 is even better. He's the number 1 world ranked 200 sprinter on the planet as a sophomore in college. Crazy. Dude, his second, that last 80, literally just, he constantly gets faster. It's so impressive.
I would say his competition out there, Arkansas is always good, but Arkansas, they're especially good at the field events.
All right, so I've been watching it. So there's this kid from Kentucky that's really fucking dope. There's a kid from Florida State,
Georgia, Matt Bowling.
Matt Bowling from Georgia, and then there's one.
Has some people, and UCLA got a couple.
There's this kid from Florida, this big dude. He's actually, dude, he's really big. Like, he's a big fucking, it looks funny. He's one of those guys, that really big guy that just fucking can sprint for some reason. Yeah. He's one of those. So, but yeah, Terrence, you gotta look him up, dude. This kid is impressive. Like, it's impressive because out of the gates, he's always losing. It never fails. But all of a sudden, he just, dude, he's so much faster than everyone else.
School.
LSU.
Okay.
Little tiny light skinned kid with he got like a little puff sticking out the back of his headband, and that motherfucker is fast, man. And he runs standing straight up. Like it's God made this one fast, Kerry. He's just fast.
Yeah.
9.80. That's fucking flying, dude.
Yeah, he's floating. That's what we call floating.
That is like, and he's still a kid.
Yeah.
He hasn't even figured it out yet.
He doesn't have his grown man muscles yet.
Yeah. So you're looking at, possible world records with this kid because I don't remember Usain running 9.80s when he was this young. And Usain had to work his way up to it because he's so tall. It was hard for, you're tall. It's hard to run the 100 being that tall.
And talk about starts.
Yeah.
Kill me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm better at doing 400. So I can just, start. You want to get a good start, but it's really stride length and maintaining that. max speed.
Before we talk about the Vikings, another thing that I didn't even know was happening now, they have a mixed relay. A mixed sprinting relay.
Oh, yeah.
4x1. It's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, yeah. No, it's dope. Oh, it's dope.
It's dope because you don't have to, you can stagger them any way you want. So I was watching this one team from Europe or somewhere. They went, they put the two guys first and second. So by the time they got to the third one, this chick was so far ahead of everybody, but then, dude, these dudes just started walking her down like it was.
But let me tell you something. There've been some female sprinters out there. I'm telling you, no joke. They would give these dudes problems.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. The reason I brought up LSU is because they have that girl who went to LSU.
Oh yeah.
Well, LSU has another freshman female that is literally destroying people, and I'm just like, that's why I wanted to bring this up to you. I was just like, I guess LSU is where people who are fast go to school now.
Oh yeah.
It used to be like Oregon, right?
Oregon was overall, yeah. LSU used to have some sprinters though. Not gonna lie, LSU's always kind of been good.
But yeah, now that's like the spot.
Florida would get the fast people. Actually, Ohio State would get fast people. Northwestern would get more long distance, 800 and all that. Oregon had great 800 and
the mid and distance. It's sprinter. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that LSU all of a sudden just had this conglomeration of Olympic level sprinters all in the same school. It's like, how do they lose? They're all going to the fucking Olympics.
UH, we had, we had going on at UH, baby.
All right,
Cool, baby.
All right. So let's talk about these sub 500 Vikings because they aren't 8-8. They're 7-9, which is exactly what they went last year, and we know our Kirk Cousins Vikings history. We're gonna start out 0-6.
You could call him Kirk Cuttins.
Yeah,
because that should be cut soon.
Yeah, no. They're gonna start out like 0-5, 0-6, and then somehow go on like a 7-game win streak and be right outside of the playoffs. And everyone's gonna have hope because they went on a win streak at the end. But
that's how it's been going for them.
Over and over and over again. They used to be good on defense.
Cook, because then Cook will have a stretch where he'll get like in 3 games he'll have 100 carries. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're just gonna work him. Then he'll get hurt. And he'll be out for 2 games, 3 games. Then he'll come back. Then he'll go on another little run again. You gotta look for Jefferson. I'm looking for Irv Smith to have a year.
Yeah.
But I could easily see Kellen Mond getting snaps this
I
year.
knew. I was waiting to see how long it was going to be before Kerry said the name Kellen Mond in our Vikings talk.
Yeah.
It was less than 2 minutes, everybody. I should have put it over-under up on there. So, let's see. I had something to say. Oh, so... let's see. They're 7-9 last year. Let's see some stats. Player stats. Kirk Cousins, obviously, he's actually the only quarterback who even took a snap for them last season. It's actually kind of impressive. Every single snap, not bad. He doesn't. You know what? He 4,200 yards. 35 touchdowns, 13 picks. The numbers are always solid, 105 rating. They're always above average. And it's just see, we want to get rid of this guy, but is there anybody better than him that we could actually get?
But this is what'll happen. He'll have 3 great games in a row and then suck.
Yeah.
And then just have a terrible suck.
Yeah, this is
And
true.
the running game, and then like he'll have a good game, like an average game, then a good game, and then suck again.
Yeah, no, then Dalvin Cook will have 280 yards in one game,
That's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
it's so
So-
weird.
And like he'll like dump like a screen off to him, and so his numbers get up because it was Dalvin Cook doing the work. So,
Well, I mean, the one good thing for them is they do have Dalvin Cook. It's like the second best running back in football right now, and
so he has someone to hand it to.
he always
like,
misses a couple games a year,
Yeah, always.
at setting the precedent right now of not being available for all 16. He did make 14 games last year, which is big for him, but he still missed 2.
Yeah.
So you always have that. They did have Alexander Madison, but he is no longer there. I know that he went to.
Yeah, he got picked up.
We just talked about them. Literally just talked about them.
49ers?
Yeah. He went. Yeah, because we were like, damn, their fucking running back room is stacked right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Amir Abdullah is even there anymore. They didn't even really use him. I don't know why they picked that kid up.
He's still on the roster.
Is?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's still getting picked up.
Yeah, interesting. He has been able to extend a very unproductive career. Good for him. Justin Jefferson, they do have one of the best wide receivers in football right out the gate. We called it.
Remember Javad Best?
Yes.
The one who fell on his head?
Yeah.
Like, that's who he's reminded. Then he went to the league and he kept falling on his fucking head. Like, stop jumping, my G. Go down.
So, Kerry, we called it in the preseason kickoff. We called it before it happened. We saw it. We saw it before they drafted him. We said it. Who are they going to replace? If they get this kid from LSU, he is Diggs all over again. He is a Diggs clone. They will not miss a beat. And he didn't. 1,400 yards right out the gate. First team All-Pro. Impressive. And we knew it. We saw it. If you were going to let Diggs go, if there was any player in the draft, this guy literally was a clone of him. So I expected this out of him. I expect more out of him. Thielen actually had a little bit of a down year. He only had 900 yards.
But he was injured all year.
He played injured.
Yeah.
He did play. He only had 70 catches, so that's a down year for him.
Yeah.
And then it's a huge drop-off after that, dude. Such a huge drop-off. Irv Smith, 30 catches for 300 yards, just wasn't available. Dalvin Cook, 300 yards. Kyle Rudolph, extremely unproductive. That's why they let him go. Chad Beebe, Don Beebe's son, in the game. I wonder if he wears the double helmet. I would 100% do it.
He does not.
He should.
He does not.
You'll go viral, man. You'll be huge. Everyone will love it.
He's a hustler just like his pops, though.
Tyler Conklin, he played because Kyle Rudolph sucks and Irv Smith kept getting hurt.
Yep.
So there's some promise in there. It's just after those two, where do they go? Thielen and Jefferson, after that, there's nothing to throw to.
I feel like, did Minnesota pick up a running back, a backup? Draft?
Well, I'm just looking at the stats from last year. I'll get to the roster in a second.
I'm wondering, like, if they do have someone who could back up Cook. Madison's gone. Who is there?
Let's go to depth chart is what I want to see. Here we go, depth chart. So your boy Kellen Mond, he's already positioned as the backup. Good for him. Jake Browning is still on that roster. Boy, he did not do anything with his shot in the league.
I know.
So they got Cook, Madison, Amir Abdullah still on the roster, and then Kenny and Wagnu.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah. No idea.
So here's the problem. We go Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. Chad Beebe is your third option. That's not good. And then below that, B.C. Johnson, Amir Smith-Marset, Dan Chisena, K.J. Osborne, Whop Filer. I love this guy. His name is actually Whop. W-H-O-P. I am not making this up. I fucking love this guy. And then Ricky Prohl's son is also...
Nice.
So they got a thing for legacy slow white receivers.
But BC Johnson actually has a chance, depending on camp, to step up.
He does because there's nobody else.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, BC Johnson, I would look at that as like my sleeper guy.
No, see, it's all about WAP.
Now I know you want that WAP. I get it. Everybody want that WAP.
WAP, it's WHOP. I can't believe his name is WAP. This is incredible. He's from Indiana. He's a rookie. So, other than that, I'm watching WAP. I'm watching WAP. 5'11", 180. That's a skinny dude. You're gonna have to eat some Whoppers if you want to stay in the league. All right, let's go back to this defensive stats because they have no help on offense. So if Irv Smith goes down, Kerry, let's just double these two receivers and then stack everyone else in the box against Dalvin Cook, and the Vikings are beat again. That's a bad front office. Their front office isn't very good.
Yeah.
They have not been able to, player retainment hasn't been good. And I honestly don't think that players like playing with Kirk Cousins.
I mean, it honestly looked like they were trying to tank last year.
Yeah.
And then then Cook came back and just had a phenomenal year. And so they started winning off his back. And then Justin Jefferson's getting busy. And so they were just like kind of winning, but it seemed like they were getting rid of guys. Other guys were getting hurt for the year. They were tanking.
Yeah, it was really weird, and all of a sudden they just
accidentally.
Yeah, they just took off.
Yeah.
So on defense, Eric Wilson is their leading tackler, but so they're up the middle. Eric Wilson, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Harris, who's not there anymore, and Harrison Smith were all their leading tacklers.
Right.
So that lets me know that they had no defensive line up front in the middle because everyone was just going right up the middle on them because it's second and third level players that are your leading tacklers. Without even seeing who else is on their roster, I can tell you their defensive line fucking sucks if that's the case.
3 sacks behind.
Oh my god. And didn't they last year they let what's his name?
Ngakoue. Well, they got Ngakoue.
No, the guy
Daniil Hunter.
They let Daniil Hunter go, who was a sack a game player.
Yeah.
So 3 sacks is terrible. That's terrible. Oh my god, and you're right. That's 3. They got a couple players with 3. That's disgusting. Yeah. Camlin Dantzler. I wonder if that's Woodrow Dantzler's kid.
Right. Any relation? Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Dantzler was nice.
Yes. Well, they revamped. Let me go back to their depth chart and go back to their defense because statistically they weren't very good at all, as you can see.
Right. They would get slaughtered in the secondary.
Yeah, their secondary fucking. So, well, you see no pass rush makes a secondary's job hard, right, Roger Harper? Quarterback's got all day. It's the NFL. They're going to find somebody.
Yeah.
So it says Danielle Hunter's still on their roster. Did he opt out?
He got hurt.
He got hurt. So, they do have nobody else on. Oh my! Michael Pierce, Dalvin Tomlinson, and DJ Wonham.
So they got Dalvin Tomlinson from the G's. So he's just coming there now. Who's the D tackle? He's good. He's out of Florida State.
Yeah, but it's just I'm not impressed by any of this up front.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
And then they do have Anthony Barr, an outside linebacker. He's dope.
Yeah.
He
got hurt last year.
He did. They did pick up Patrick Peterson. Was their big pickup.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So they have Patrick Peterson. Xavier Woods goes to safety. Harrison Smith is the other safety. And then Camlin Dantzler is the other corner at this moment.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I've never heard of any. Perry Nickerson is a backup. I wonder if that's Hardy Nickerson's son. See, we're starting to see legacy players.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay. Hardy Nickerson was that motherfucking dude.
Oh, yeah.
He was during my era.
Yes, he was that dude. They do have Britton Colquitt as a punter, which is one of the best punters in football, and he does punt an awful lot with Kirk Cousins as the quarterback. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at some transactions. Don Capers is no longer on the staff.
Okay.
Interesting. Jake Browning still got a spot on this team. That's incredible. That's just a camp. He's got to be a camp arm at this point. Let's see. Clint Kubiak is the offensive coordinator. That's got to be Gary's son, right? And then Keenan McCardle is the wide receivers coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been there for a while.
Nice. The Keenan McCardle, Jimmy Smith was an awful deadly. That was the first time we ever saw two number ones playing with each other. That's clearly, these are both ones.
Yeah.
Paul Gunther is joined their staff as a senior defensive assistant.
Okay.
Interesting. They let go Kyle Rudolph gone. They let Dan Bailey go. They released Riley.
He was
terrible. They released Riley Reef, their left tackle.
Yes.
They also released the D tackle. Who cares? Their D line sucked. Fuck that guy. They did Dalvin Tomlinson from the G's. Patrick Peterson, huge signing.
Yeah, very big.
They kept Amir Abdullah, which I think that's just because there were no other options. Let's see. Mike Hughes. This actually just happened recently. Mike, I was just seeing this. Mike Hughes. They let him go. They declined his option, and now there's actually, I just saw this today, that somebody else picked him up today.
Mike Hughes is a good player.
That's what I'm saying. So they declined his option, and then somebody just picked him up today.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's now off of their roster. So their secondary just got a little bit worse.
Yes, it did.
I'm sure they're hoping that Patrick Peterson.
Why they made that move?
Couldn't tell you, but they declined his option, which is like.
And they have one of the worst secondaries in the league, and he's one of your better players. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they gonna rely on one of these rookies that they drafted?
Yeah, they drafted Cameron Bynum as a corner I don't know who that kid is. They did get Christian Darrisaw, which was huge.
That's huge.
That was huge.
Thinking about Darrisaw then.
Yeah.
Because he should get early playing time.
So Perry Nickerson was one of their draft picks at corner, and then they also drafted another corner, Amari Henderson. So they drafted 3 corners.
Okay. Yeah.
So it makes sense that they knew they were going to let him go then.
Have Patrick Peterson there to mentor all these guys.
I mean, honestly, Kerry, like he might have been your best player, but in a terrible secondary. Is being the best player in a terrible secondary ain't really that good.
I know.
You know, so they're like, fuck it. Let's just fuck it. Dump his contract, 5th-year option. To re-sign him next year is going to be who knows what. Not worth it. So they just dumped him and drafted all of his replacements. You're right. They brought in the senior leadership, which is a smart play on their part. And
you still got Harrison Smith there, so I mean.
I'm sure that Patrick Peterson got paid for this stop in Minnesota also. I can't say that he went there because he wants to win. That wasn't the...
He wanted to still continue to play corner.
Exactly. So it wasn't like, I want to win. He's not one of those guys. Interesting, because we've been talking about it for at least 2 seasons now since we've been doing this. Move to safety, dude.
I know.
Extend your career for another 7 years.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, like you're all ready to us. To me, I'm like, yeah, I put that guy in the Hall of Fame. But at this point in his career, honestly, no.
Right.
I'm a Patrick Peterson fan. I know what he's capable of, but he has not had a career fully worthy of actually being in the Hall of Fame. He will go. He will.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it should be a little bit harder to get into the Hall of Fame than it is at these moments, because I don't think he's done enough.
Great move if he went to safety. I mean, considering with the moves that they've just made, he could maybe switch over to safety, and then they just have Darrisaw at the other corner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
put Darrisaw in the slot, because if you play at safety, you're already playing horizontally anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it'd actually be easier for you to move down to the slot, because that's the biggest movement is horizontally off the line. It's not straight ahead. It's always something sideways.
Right.
So he's already used to that. It'd be a more natural fit than forcing a corner who has played as an alpha corner his entire career at college, high school and at college as being the number one, always on the outside, and then now you have to try to force him to learn how to play in the inside, in space amongst other people. Because you played corner, I played corner, we've all done it before. That sideline is an extra defender and that open space. So now you have to learn how to move amongst the giants in there. And then there's also things going on, especially if you're a slot corner, you're going to have to learn how to blitz. Like, there's other things. And you got to be ready to make tackles in the hole because you're closer. You're now basically an outside linebacker who's covering a slot receiver at that point. So they run, you better be able to tackle. So it's a little bit different. So, but like you said, as a safety, you're already used to making tackles and you're used to the lateral movement. So it's a natural move. Vikings front office. I know you're going to watch this later on. I can guarantee it's going to happen. Listen to us. All right. Let's see. Perry Nickerson. That's somebody I'm going to watch. I got to watch WAP.
Yeah.
Got to watch WAP. But Perry Nickerson, because I was a Hardy Nickerson fan. What a dope name, Hardy Nickerson. What an ill name for a football player.
Word.
He just looked like a linebacker too. He made the creamsicle uniform look fucking intimidating, man. Your boy Kellen Mond. So let me ask you something, since that's your boy, that's your guy. How many games before Kellen Mond gets playing time because Kirk Cousins sucks?
I'm thinking we're going a little longer on this one. But I can see him in like week 12, 13, somewhere later down the line.
I'm going to do you one better, Kerry. Kellen Mond.
It's an injury.
Kellen Mond is going to be the next Russell Wilson, and he's going to appear much sooner than later, and he's not giving up the job.
Right out of camp.
I won't say right out of camp, but if they struggle early, which they typically do, and Kellen Mond has been balling in camp, like really getting busy, they have no choice. Got to get a shot. And then what if he gets in and just doesn't give it up like Jalen Hurts did?
Sure.
Jalen Hurts didn't do it. He didn't give you any reason to give up the job yet.
Yeah.
You know, but I know I make fun of you because you keep saying Kellen Mond all the goddamn time. But honestly, I can see him, because of the Kirk Cousins history in Minnesota, another slow start and then being tired of this dumb shit. And if this kid plays well in camp, because they do have a terrible secondary, so the kid's going to look better in practice than he actually is, I can see him getting the job and not giving it up. And Kirk Cousins being moved somewhere else.
Well, he needs to work on his accuracy. That's one of his weak points. But smart guy, willing runner. He's a competitor. He's gotten better every year at A&M.
Well, you have to be able to run in modern day NFL quarterback. You literally have to run unless your name's Tom Brady. It's built. Even pocket quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, will take off on you.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is the last. I mean, there's Matt Ryan, but he sucks. We don't care.
But like Kellen Mond could remind you like a Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I could see him actually faring extremely well, because during the draft we look at statistically, first round draft picks are more likely to be unsuccessful in the NFL than they are to be successful. It's actually second, third, and fourth round picks that have the longest careers, and then after that it's a crapshoot, right? But it's like the second, third, and fourth round is where it's really at. So you always look at those later round quarterbacks, especially nowadays. Dak was a third round pick. Russell was a fucking third round pick.
Dak was a fourth
round pick, yeah. Russell was a third round pick. Tom doesn't count. That's an anomaly. 6th round pick. That'll never happen again. I don't fucking care that a 6th rounder will even be that fucking dope in the NFL as a quarterback. It won't happen again. Let alone all-time great. See, he had to be the greatest of all time. You can't be 199th overall, take the gerb, and then just go to like the playoffs two or three times in your career. Like, you can't. If you're going to be 6th round draft pick, you have to be the GOAT. Because there are name me any other 6th and 7th round quarterbacks or undrafted that have Hall of Fame level careers. It doesn't fucking happen. They might have a year, Kerry. We've seen quarterbacks have a year or a run, but not like that's that guy. Not Hall of Fame worthy.
Right.
You know, you usually get your first pick, like Peyton Manning, John Elway. These guys. Trevor Lawrence. That's the number 1 draft pick. Like this is going to happen, right?
Like Spurgeon win.
No, those are the terrible wins. I'm talking number 1 overall. Then you get fucking Jamarcus Russell, dumbass, and all those other ones. But then, it's always like second, third. It's usually, honestly, third round. Joe Montana was a third-round draft pick.
Where did Roger Staubach go? Where did he get drafted?
I don't know, but the draft was different back then. It was like fucking 17 or 18 rounds.
That's because he got, drafted later.
Yeah, no, it was it was 30-something. It was like a baseball draft back then.
Yeah, they had... how many rounds?
They had a ton of them. It was absurd.
Rounds?
Yeah, it was in the teens.
Yeah.
And he was drafted extremely late because of his military.
Late, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it was because of the military obligation. So it's like, he's drafted late because this guy's going to go to war and shoot fucking planes down and shit. So he's not coming to play quarterback anytime soon.
When he came back, he got...
It was kind of like the military version of a Mormon. They got to go do their mission before they can come back and play basketball.
Yeah.
Like Sean Bradley did and all those other tall Mormon centers.
Sean Bradley, R.I.P.
Yeah. He passed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I knew he had gotten into a wreck and had broken and was paralyzed.
A couple months back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Roger Staubach was drafted in the 16th round.
I fucking knew it was deep in there.
Yeah, I was like, see, I got one for you. I could tell you a Hall of Fame who was drafted later.
1966 draft.
Yeah, see, that shit is completely different. It's different now. So, especially with the focus on how important a quarterback is. So, and the way the draft is structured. The NFL.
Trust me, if they would have done a redraft after seeing how the careers played out, Roger Staubach's going in the first round, and they'll just wait.
Well, so the NFL is different. The NFL is how it should be run. If you're the worst team, you should get the first pick. It shouldn't be you get the most amount of
balls or
lottery balls in a fucking thing, or random envelopes.
Right.
That are frozen ahead of the draft with Georgetown's Patrick Ewing in it. So when David Stern...
Well, now, if you were saying Orlando Magic or the 76ers, I would have understood what you were talking about. But nah, the Knicks getting Ewing was legit.
Legit, 100%.
Absolutely.
Nothing corrupt about that shit at all, huh?
No.
He's an Ohio boy. He was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, too.
Who's that?
Roger Staubach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, the way that the draft is structured, it's usually terrible teams. And terrible teams, the things that they do, what are the immediate changes of a terrible team? Head coach. Coordinators get fired first because they can't blame the head coach. So coordinators go first. Then the coach goes. And then the quarterback's got to change. And then the GM will go.
GM has to go.
Yeah, but the quarterback is like the third level change. And on bad teams, it's constantly changing. So that's why in the NFL draft, you are constantly seeing quarterbacks are always taken at the upper end because those are franchise-altering positions unless you have, a once-in-a-lifetime DN that's like Chase Young is out there. That's a franchise-altering pick also. Sure. But it's usually done at quarterback, right? You're not going to alter your franchise with a running back. Or like a tight end, so it's like quarterbacks are always picked up there. So that's why, and there's always
AP did very well.
Well, there's always Neo in the Matrix. All right, so but then you see the effect of not being terrible to pick elite quarterbacks,
right?
And being the ones who get stuck picking Spurgeon win in the first round and shit like that because you're down at 14. And you got to get a quarterback, and it's this is all that's left. All those teams,
Druckenmiller.
All those teams, all those Patriots quarterbacks that got drafted, second round quarterback, always second round quarterbacks with them that just fucking never played, ever. Brian Hoyer always came back and took your gerb.
Sure did.
Just like he just did again. He just took somebody else's gerb coming in there.
You picked up Rohan Davey. Remember that? Remember when you did that? Remember when your squad did that?
Yeah, that squad picked up a quarterback from my squad that I didn't even like in my college squad. It was Rohan fucking Davey, yo. Yo, my squad also drafted Matt motherfucking Castle, who never started in college.
I know. That was ridiculous.
They used a draft pick on him.
And they gave him a career.
Yes, they did, because that team was fucking low.
What's that safety's name?
Bernard motherfucking Pollard.
He needs to thank Bernard Pollard for
No. His name is Bernard motherfucking Pollard. Get it right.
Motherfucking Pollard. He needs to thank him for his career.
See, that's how infamous he is in New England lore, that he has reached I can't remember his first name. Aaron fucking Boone.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Aaron fucking Boone. It's not even Aaron Boone because of that bottom of the ninth home run in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I lived in Boston for that time period. Trust me, it's Aaron fucking Boone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
This guy is motherfucking, like, there's, you're infamous at that level. It's motherfucking. Yeah. It's Bernard motherfucking Pollard, because it's not just Brady. Bernard Pollard was also responsible for a very early on Gronk injury. That motherfucker was taking out Patriots, just chopping knees.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And he did it for multiple teams. He hurt somebody for us when he played for the Chiefs. He did it when he played for the Ravens. This guy was Bernard motherfucking Pollard, yo. It never failed, Kerry. Anytime I saw this guy on the other team, I was scared. I'm like, somebody's getting hurt. Somebody's going to get fucking hurt today, because all he does is go right at knees. And I'm not mad at him, because I'm 160 pounds. I went straight at people's knees. But it's Tom Brady, you dickhead. You don't go at his knees.
Yeah, he's thinking about that.
Yo, so you remember when... Oh, we got less than a minute here. Let me re-up real quick, because I'm sure there's some other shit we could talk about real quick before this catches earth. All right, we'll be back in 45 seconds. That is hilarious. Bernard motherfucking Pollard. I hate that guy. I still hate that guy. Fucking hate that guy. Fucking flea. I hate Bernard. Yo, Jim Drunkenmiller, man. The 49ers. I still remember that pick. Out of Virginia Tech. Jim Drunkenmiller. I just remember his name, and he was like fucking 6'8" or something. I'm chilling, man. I'm fresh off the golf course, straight into gray matter. We don't know where the fuck Nice is at right now. Who knows what Nice is doing? It's summertime. Yo, Kerry got the fastest zoom gun in the West.
Brooklyn advanced against the Celtics tonight.
Well, that was to be expected. With AD getting hurt and LeBron kind of the tread getting a little thin on his tires in this postseason, like the dream matchup of them both being healthy just isn't going to happen. So I kind of pretty much looks like it's Brooklyn's to lose at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't count out the 76ers exactly.
I won't. But Kerry, as a native New Yorker.
Yeah.
And knowing that the Roni just locked all of New York down for 18 months.
Sure.
Do you know what's going to happen in Brooklyn if the Nets fucking win the title?
Oh, yeah, no. It's going to be lit. You know what I'm saying?
No, see, you used the wrong word right there. Lit is not the word I'm going to use to describe what's going to happen in Brooklyn.
It's gonna be bang bang.
Oh my, it is going to be wild.
It's gonna be bang bang. I know.
I will say this: the Barclays Center is going to be popping, and the meatpacking district that night is going to be off the fucking chain.
Let me tell you something. Also, if the Knicks figure out a way,
Don't see if the Knicks win. No, the city will burn.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We just got to beat the Hawks, and we got to be on arson watch.
Roger Harper, we can't talk about the Knicks winning an NBA title. The city will literally burn.
I know.
That's crazy.
They will have to reset New York City afterwards. It's
It would be
over.
the most amazing thing.
It will.
It would be the most amazing thing.
Dude,
City.
Fight till you be in front of everybody.
Yeah.
He'd be leading the pack.
Yo, it would be the most amazing thing.
all right, so I was in Boston the year that they broke the 86-year curse. Like the Bambino curse.
Mhm.
I thought at that moment, watching people run on tops of cars like it was a zombie apocalypse, and watching people reported dying in the celebration, like
Yes.
not Roger. Not only see they didn't report this outside of New England. Not only was it like people who died in the riots from like getting hit in the face with propellants from the cops and shit like that. There were literal hundreds, if not thousands, of seniors who died that night and the next morning because they had finally seen the Red Sox won and they all let go. I'm not lying. There were thousands of them. Thousands of them let go finally. And they said it. There were so many news segments. They were like, well, my grandfather's been waiting his whole life to see the Red Sox win the series. And when they did, he said he could finally let go, and he did.
Yeah. No, I feel that. That's crazy though. Oh, man.
Hey, listen. There's no city that loves their sports like Boston loves their sports. I don't care. But no, that really happened. This is a real thing. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people who just got what they always wanted to see and finally let go.
Yo, that's like how when the Cubs won.
Yeah.
There was people like that.
Yeah, see, same thing happened with the Cubs. You remember Bill Murray almost died. You saw the look on his face when they won.
Straight up. Nah, it's gonna be like that if the Knicks ever win.
That's
again.
what I'm saying, Roger Harper. Not only will it be like that, the level of violence that will occur in New York City.
I'm not going outside.
Yeah, I will not go outside in Brooklyn at night. It's not that night. The amount of fireworks that are going to be set off in New York. Geez, the fire.
Forget it.
Roger, just watch.
The energy of the city will be like seismic.
10,000. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be memorable. You're never going to forget that night. You'll never forget the night that the Knicks won and you were in New York. Like, I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Bring Zion, team him up with R.J. Barrett and what's going on there. And Obi, I like Obi. That kid can play.
Yeah, so could Quickly. Quickly's nice.
Yeah, they got a nice team that they're building there. So let's do this, Knicks. I live in New York. Let's get a title. I don't like the Knicks, but it'll be fun. It will be fun.
Hero's still doing his thing, a little something. We need another point guard to help him out.
Yeah, it'll be. Wow. So when was the last time the Knicks won? Wasn't it with Phil Jackson when he played there?
Yes.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Poor Patrick Ewing.
72.
That's his own fault. It's his own fault. Don't finger roll right there. Don't do that.
Patrick Ewing's calf was hurt. I don't know what people don't understand about this. His calf was hurt.
All right, Kerry.
The only person you should be mad at for not dunking the rock was Charles Smith.
Yes.
Be mad at that cat. Because we had the Bulls.
I will, but I will say this. Did Patrick Ewing not know his calf was hurt?
He did. He almost blew out the rest of his career because he was trying to, but he just could not elevate.
I know. That play will live on in infamy. That is like the dude from the Cowboys who fucking dropped the touchdown in the back of the end zone when they said, "Oh, he must be the sickest man in America right now."
Jackie Wilson.
Jackie Wilson.
That's why they gave Patrick Ewing a hard time when he came up to the guard with his with the
With the security.
Yeah.
Acting like they didn't know who Patrick was. Come on.
Yo, what kind of shit is that? Like,
Oh man, what you talk about? You don't know who Patrick Ewing is? That's crazy.
like for real? For
And
real?
Garden, really?
His face is up there. Like, just turn around. Like, incredible. Also, he's fucking 7'5". I would assume if I work there that he probably plays back. Yeah, he probably plays basketball here.
Yeah.
Incredible. So let's look at the Vikings roster because we are once again into the mode that we can look at schedules, not roster. Schedule. So they open up at the Bengals. That's a victory. Actually, no. I'm going with the Bengals. Let's go, Joey Boy Band.
Yeah, I'm saying, I don't know.
We don't know if he'll be fully healthy on week 1, though. This is a question.
They just said he'll be ready, but right. Like, he should be available for week 1, but who knows how much training camp he'll get.
Don't push it with this kid. This is your future. And you got one. You saw it on the field already. You got one. So just make sure you keep it.
Exactly.
Then they go to Arizona. That'll be an interesting game. It's early, but
I would lean Arizona's way.
Especially in Arizona because Arizona had one of the better home records last year.
Yeah.
I remember end of the year I kept having to tell you it depends on. We were doing the fantasy thing. It was just depends on if they're playing at home or away on whether or not I'm going to pick anybody off their roster. Then they play Seattle. That is not going well. See, I'm looking off of Seattle's history. I don't know what Seattle is right now.
Seattle didn't get better on the offensive line. I tell you that much.
All right, so here's a guaranteed loss. They do play Cleveland, and Cleveland is stacked. And if they play anything like they did at the end of the year last year, they are on an upward trajectory. Roger Harper, that's got to
Seattle still beat them because of the secondary.
That's got to be fun. That's got to be another place that if the Browns win a Super Bowl, the state of Ohio might disappear off the map. It might just literally just disappear.
I know.
It might collapse within itself.
I was thinking about that too, yeah.
Yeah, dude, Roger Harper, what would happen in Ohio if the Browns won a Super Bowl?
Shit.
It's not even the Bengals, it's the Browns. If the Browns won.
They probably go crazy here too.
Well, I mean, because, so the LeBron won with the Cavs, and that was, like, historic.
Yep, absolutely.
But the Browns is something different. The Browns win.
They've won NFL championships, but they haven't won Super Bowl. They haven't won since Jim Brown. No.
Yeah, so if they win, that would be amazing. And they got the team.
Watch out, because if they do win, then Jim Brown might drop.
Go all out, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta watch it.
All out.
I mean,
Yeah, see, Roger Harper, you got
lose Jim. We might lose Jim if the Browns win.
Yeah, you got to check on all your Browns fans and whatnot if the Browns win. Just tell them it ain't worth letting go, man. It's just a Super Bowl title. Like you weren't even on the team. It's not that serious.
You're not getting no checks from them.
And then Detroit, and then at Carolina. So honestly, their first 6 weeks are really manageable. They only have Cleveland that's like, oh shit, you're not better than that team. Every other game out of that first 6 is winnable for them.
They'll probably go 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, never fails. Actually, 2-2-2. They're gonna start like excelling in mediocrity.
Yeah.
All right. So the second stretch of because they got an early bye week. Their bye week's in week 7.
Okay.
Now remember we talked about the Niners. Their bye week is until week 14, which is like the latest bye week ever.
Yeah.
So that's almost a whole football season without a break. That's
straight up.
That's going to be grueling for them.
That.
Yeah, that's going to be grueling. So the second stretch. So this is where Kellen Mond might get some time if they don't perform well against these mediocre teams. And honestly, if you don't come out of those first 6 games like 4-2, Kirk Cousins got to go. He's got to go because all those teams outside of Cleveland suck. Detroit, Cincy, you should beat these teams.
Yeah, you should.
Carolina, you should beat them.
Yep, you should beat them too.
Seattle, you can beat them. It's just Russ right now.
Yeah.
And we saw Seattle at the end of last year not be very good at all.
But I was just going to say the receivers, though, will beat that secondary up.
Yes. And then Arizona, we don't know. They were good at home, terrible on the road. So it's at Arizona. So that's questionable. They could go.
With Kyler Murray and QB running and
that's what I'm saying. They could go 4-2 or they can go 2-4.
Yeah.
Easily, either way. Right?
Yeah.
Because Minnesota having Dalvin Cook and then those two monster studs. And then if Irv Smith stays healthy, and now you got Darrisaw at your left tackle, so the offensive line shouldn't be as much of an issue. It's just that defense, especially the secondary, is terrible. Will you bring in Patrick Peterson? It's the end of the line, Patrick Peterson, and 3 rookies. Whole overhaul. So it's make or break for Kirk, especially in Minnesota this year. So your boy might come in week 8 and start against, you can't write this Disney shit up, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Oh, shit.
Get his start against the last Texas A&M quarterback who just did the same thing.
That's funny.
It'll work. And then at Baltimore, that's not good for them.
Ew.
At the Chargers, we all know the Chargers are moving, and you're traveling to L.A.
Yeah.
Green Bay, we don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers. If he comes there,
if it's gonna be Jordan Love or if they get somebody else in there.
At San Francisco's healthy. They're going to destroy Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then they get the Detroit Lions again. And then they have to play Pittsburgh. We don't know what Pittsburgh we're going to get this late into the season. 14 weeks. It's usually when they suck.
Right.
And then Chicago. At this point in the season, is Justin Fields going to be their starter? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You better be.
Yeah.
He's going to be starting early.
And then versus the Rams, and the Rams are fucking loaded. Matthew Stafford, a quarterback, all the additions that they've
It'll
added.
be interesting to see where they'll be at record-wise at that point in the season.
And then Green Bay and Chicago all over again. So that middle stretch, though, Dallas, Baltimore, Chargers, Green Bay, San Francisco, is brutal for them. So if they do put Kellen Mond in after the bye week and he starts with those 5 games, he's not going to fare any better than Kirk Cousins did. So
yeah, so they might leave Cousins in.
I wouldn't do that.
That's what I was saying. I wouldn't suspect to see Mon until like week 14.
Well, now that I'm looking at their schedule, I would not put him in after the bye week. I would wait until after that murderer's row, because then you can play Detroit and you can put him against Detroit.
Yeah.
And then just kind of see what you got over the last couple of weeks.
By that time, Chicago, then you have 2 because you got to know Fields to be starting in. I try my hand at that, him against Fields.
All right, so the other thing that I like to look at now that the schedules are out, that kind of gives you, if you don't know what a team is going to be, I will tell you who knows what a team is going to be. Ticket price setters.
Sure.
You know if a team's going to be good, those tickets are expensive. You could tell early. You could tell. Now, ticket prices will change as the season goes. But it's interesting because all these Vikings tickets are cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
We're looking, these are NFL tickets after the Roni, which they're all going to be sold out, guaranteed, no matter what. Bad teams are going to sell out this year. It doesn't fucking matter. Tickets are between $50 and $70.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking low for an NFL football game.
Yeah.
So, Kerry, I already told Roger Harper about Jets, Pats at Jets on the 9th. If he can make it, that me, you, and Nice. I haven't talked to Nice yet, but of course he's going to go. It's a Jets game. He's going to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we could all go, that would be hilarious. Hilarious. It'll be... And plus, Roger, you'll get to see MetLife Stadium. Kerry's been... If you've been to the new one. It's a modern-day Roman Coliseum. It does not make sense how big it is. It is so much bigger than other stadiums. Not because of, like, all the amenities. It's just it's just 6 levels. It's so big. It's so high. It makes no sense. It's like after the top of the goalpost, there's 3 levels. It just keeps going up. And then I was telling them about how the hallways are giant screens. Mm-hmm. You never miss the game. It's really impressive.
No,
it's really impressive.
Everywhere.
So, off the top of my head, what do you... Do I even have to guess? 7, 8, and or what is it? Whatever, right below 500 is going to be.
Yeah.
8, 8 and 1. 7, 9 and 1.
7, 9 and 1.
7, 9 and 1 probably. But let's. They should win that Cincy game. They should. Joey Boy Band, first game of the season, post injury. They're going to be tentative with him if he's even
8, 9, 7, 10.
So that's one. Let's say they lose at Arizona because Arizona wins at home.
Yeah.
So that's 1-1. Seattle. Say they sneak a win against Seattle because Seattle's just not that good. 2-1. They're losing to the Browns. It's 2-2. They beat Detroit and they beat Carolina. That they start 4-2. Right. Dallas with a healthy Dak. I think that's a whole different Dallas team with Dak not only the player but also the leadership. So people talk about the fall off in football with having the red rifle. It was the fall off in leadership. It wasn't his arm that they didn't help pick up when the red rifle got murdered on the field. It was nobody cared about him as a quarterback. Whatever, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh, let's preserve his right arm. That's the red rifle.
It'll be those Dallas receivers versus those Minnesota.
Terrible. They're going to eat them up. So we're 4-3. Baltimore 4-4. They're not beating the Chargers this year in Los Angeles. The Chargers, with new coaches, I think are going to perform at a much higher level because they were in so many games late last year.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm dealing with injuries. So, yeah.
We'll say that Green Bay finds a way to bring Aaron Rodgers back because that's actually the most likely scenario. Because Tom Brady came back and played and still won the Spite Super Bowl. I could see Aaron Rodgers doing that for one more year before his contract's up and then getting out of there.
Yeah.
Possibly. So we'll say he's in there. Well, that's another loss. And then at San Francisco, well, if they're healthy, well, you're losing that game too. Because they're fucking loaded. So now we're like, we're 4-6 instead of the 4-2. We just went on a losing streak. At Detroit, they can have that one. That's 5. Versus Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, they're not going to win in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Playing in Pittsburgh is a different beast. It's impossible to kick field goals in that place. You have to know how to play football there. They're not going to win there. At Chicago is very interesting. It's a divisional game, and Chicago's defense is good.
Yes, it is.
What's their offense going to be at this point in the season? Is Justin Fields really the answer?
I mean, you got to know that they're going to also be running the rock with David Montgomery. They got an interesting wide receiver situation out there.
Well, they play them twice, so let's say they split, because usually what happens in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let's say they split, so that's 5. They're not going to beat the Rams, and they're not going to go to Green Bay and win. So that's realistically 5 fucking wins off of just running through their schedule on paper. Mm-hmm. And what we can come to expect from the Vikings or Kirk Cousins. Now, I can also see them having those 4 wins going into like week 12 and 13, and then Kirk Cousins going on one of those goddamn Kirk Cousins runs and getting them to 7, 9, and 1, which is what's going to happen because that's all they ever do. Captain Mediocre, that guy fucking sucks. I would be so mad if I was a Vikings fan. You give this guy like $42 million to do this shit.
Oh, I know quite a few of them.
Yo, I mean, come on, man. He sucks. This is the NFL. The quarterback needs to be an elite level, at least leader. And even if you're not, all right, so if you've got a team that's loaded, you at least got to be Brad Johnson. The guy's got to like you.
Yeah.
And you got to not make mistakes.
Brad Johnson did things with that team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like,
an eventual Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. You know, Trent Dilfer, the guy's got to like you.
Yeah.
They weren't great quarterbacks, but the teams at least liked them. Mm-hmm. They're not leaving them laying in the middle of the fucking field face down and actually walking around them. You know, they should have Allen Iversoned them. Ultimate disrespect and treated him like Tyronn Lue. One of his own offensive linemen should have stepped over him to get back to the huddle. Yeah. Why not?
Because it would at least acknowledge that he knew he was there.
Yeah. Kudos. Touche. You are correct. At least stepping over him would have been better than you just ignoring him. And that stepping over is such a disrespectful move in sports. But I don't think it's more disrespectful than watching your quarterback die and then not even fucking looking at him. Oh, my God. I'll never forget that. I've never seen that at any level of football in my entire life. And it happened in an NFL game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They must hate the red rifle. They must really hate that guy.
Because I've never seen anything like that on any level.
Ever. He won a lot of games in Cincinnati.
Yes, he did.
Like, overperformed there. For a long
playoff games, but
for a long time. So, like, what happened in Dallas where they were like, nah, fuck this dude? Interesting. I would love to see a behind the, like a ESPN 30 for 30 on just that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear behind the scenes from both sides. I want to hear the D lineman interview be like, yeah, I've never seen it before in my life. They just let him lay there. I fucking killed this guy. They just left him there. I wanted to help him up.
Like, no repercussions for the linebacker who hit him. None.
Yo, could you imagine if one of the D linemen eventually just kind of walked over there and like nudged him? Like, yo, you all right? Just like kicked him real quick. Like, you good, homie? Yo, I think you killed him.
They folded him, man. They folded his ass on that play.
He did.
So one other thing that I wanted to talk about, I'm glad that my hive mind just reminded me of this. I don't know if either of you guys have seen this kid. He's like 6'6", 240 something. He's like 15 years old playing football. Yeah, I gotta look him up. It don't make any sense how big this kid is. There's no way in the world he's only 15, but apparently he is. I was wondering if any of you guys have seen this because it's just
was he playing quarterback and then like linebacker?
Nah, tight end and D end.
Tight end and D end, okay.
Yeah, and the D end just isn't fair because he's a foot and a half taller than all the linemen. He's just like, Argh.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know this kid.
Yeah, hold up, I don't know. Google's got it. I just saw him this week. He was huge. Like, not only was he huge, he was fucking jacked. It was like there was no way. This kid's 7'1", 400 pounds. Not him. This is another kid.
Oh, I was about to say what?
This one's 7 foot 440. He plays he currently playing in Riverside, California.
That's ridiculous.
Wow. I can't find this kid, but D end and tight end, which made sense. He's not like a giant kid they just stuck at lineman because this kid can move.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, if he's that big now, he's going to end up being like Chase Young, apparently, where you're just bigger than everybody. Because, dude, he's like legit like 6'5", like 250 something at 15.
So then I'd stay on defense.
Yeah. We already talked this to the whole LeBron thing.
Yeah.
You get that big on offense as a mode of self-preservation, as a safety and corner. I'm literally taking out your knee and below.
Obviously, I'm going to be a goal line threat. I'll go in, goal line. Yeah.
But, as a defender, I'm going from knee down. So be prepared to miss some time if you are ready for it, because I'm not fucking getting a concussion by your knee going through my face.
Yeah.
So, the Vikings suck. I want to see who do we got next week. I should have looked up that kid earlier. I just saw him because I was watching SportsCenter and they talked about him because he is literally. There's no way that he's 15. Because it's not like he's just big. He's 6'5", and he's jacked. Like, he's like.
Where's he from?
He's got to be. He's one of those. This got to be down south. South Carolina.
Okay.
That'll help me look it up. It was South Carolina. I do remember that. But I want to see who we got next week because doing the Patriots was fun, but doing the Vikings sucked. I hate the Vikings. I hate Kirk Cousins. I hate him. I hate 500 and below quarterbacks.
But we do like Justin Jefferson.
Yes. Yes. And Dalvin Cook is impressive.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Standings. This is how I always pick the order. I don't know if I could guess who it is.
have no idea.
I didn't even know we were doing the Vikings today, to be honest with you. Chocolate City Bigums.
Washington.
Yeah, we're in the 7-9 range right now, the below 500 range.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get to Raiders, Cardinals, Bears that were all 500, and then we get to playoff-ish teams that were all 10-6 and better.
Yeah.
So the league was really broken into segments last year. You had the dominant teams that won 13 or more games.
Mm-hmm.
You had the playoff teams that won between 11 and 12 games, literally, because Miami won 10 and missed the playoffs.
Right.
And then you've got the 8-8s, and then the 7-9s, and then it just chips down until you get to the Jags, which were terrible.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that it's so segmented like that. So, yeah, looks like we got the Chocolate City Bigums. Big changes for them. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a quarterback now.
Yeah.
So we know that's like that's a 1-year rental basically.
Yeah. What if Washington made a run at Aaron, at Aaron?
They already said that, and that makes a lot of sense, especially if like Bezos bought the team or something. But Dan Snyder went and bought the rest of the owners out, so now he owns the team. So that's all. Before we get off here, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. That reminded me, the whole Dan Snyder thing. So the Chargers are up for sale, essentially.
Okay.
Apparently the Spanos family has fucked away all their money, and now they have to sell the team.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chargers are up for sale. There's also another team. Not the Redskins. There was another team that Bezos was looking to buy. Fuck. Because it went from Redskins, obviously, to be around DC and all the power players, and then Dan Snyder bought the team, and then he shifted somewhere else. Hold on. Let me go through, look at these teams. There's 2 teams basically right now that are up for sale in the NFL, which is unprecedented. This is a club that's impossible to enter, and they just don't change teams like this. But the Chargers are now possibly for... Oh, the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are up for sale.
Huskies.
Yeah, they're going to get out of the business of football.
Got it.
Which makes sense at this point, you know. Patriarchy is all passed on and moved on to whatnot, and now you got generational who probably are not even that interested in football.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, the Bears, that's a historic...
Yeah.
franchise that will change hands, which, you know, never happens.
Right.
So,
These are still family owned.
yeah, so you could see maybe Bezos buys the Bears, but I actually would see him buying the Chargers because it's out in LA. That would make way more sense.
Yeah.
So could you imagine being like Justin Herbert, the world's richest man, just bought your team?
Amazing.
Yeah, you're going to get whatever the fuck you want because he knows nothing about football at all. Nothing.
You're gonna want to hang out with your owner.
Yeah, all the time. Even though he does kind of look like Lex Luthor at this point. He's all fucking jacked and shit with the bald head.
Yeah.
Does kind of look evil. Yeah, so, you know, we got... The Bigums will be fun. It'll be fun to talk about the Bigums. Just because
They had some good pickups.
we get to call them the Bigums, and I know...
Draft, too. They had a good draft.
And I know you hate them, so it makes it fun to watch the...
I don't really hate them. Like, they
You see this, Roger? You see
they're
this?
like that team. No, they're like that team that's like, all right, they're there. But it's not like how I feel about Philly. The Eagles.
Well, see, that's different. That's pure hatred.
Yeah.
That's...
Washington, yeah, they all right. I enjoy the city. DC, I rocks with you. I have a good time in DC.
Yeah, but I bet you I will be able to see the absolute disdain on your face as you try to talk positively about the Chocolate City Bigums next week.
We'll see.
See, I don't hide my disdain. I am not partial. If I don't fucking like a team, I will tell you, I fucking hate this team. They suck.
I don't rock with you. I mean, they just don't. They don't.
Nah, I know. We'll talk objectively about their roster moves and things like that, football-wise. But you know, as a team, fuck those guys. I hate the Redskins.
I mean, I really do hate they did get 2 players I really wanted, which was Scherf and Chase Young. I did hate that.
Chase Young is impressive to watch, though. I will.
Nasty.
I never understood why they didn't keep the Seminole spear uniform. Like there was like darker maroon with like a goldish gold. That shit looked dope, man. I don't know why they didn't keep that and went back to the
color scheme.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't know if the NFL is going to do it this year. Maybe they lifted that mandate. I'll have to look at the rule book. But they had the rule for the longest where they had to have the same helmet all season, so they couldn't change colors.
Yeah.
So they weren't really doing those crazy alternate uniforms anymore. Right. I think they have changed that.
I feel like I've seen some different helmets this year.
Yeah, so I think they have changed that in the NFL. So you might go back to see some alternates and some throwbacks, because that Washington was dope, man. It looked better than their current one. Well, now it's just a number. It's just a number at this point, which they're going the Penn State route, but the color scheme doesn't look that good. Right. It'll be interesting if they do the helmet thing, because there are some alternate uniforms in the NFL that are awesome.
And they're just keeping it the WFT, Washington Football Team.
There are some alternate uniforms in the NFL that are absolutely fucking god awful too. Yeah. That Green Bay one that's blue and gold striped with that shit is ugly.
Yeah, they look like escaped convicts. Yeah.
Pittsburgh's prison break one with the brown pants.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Escaped Philippine convicts. Yeah.
See, now I do want to see like the Cleveland Browns wearing all orange, top to bottom.
Orange crush.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, how would that look?
It looked dope to me because
Orange crush. Yeah, the old Denver.
I mean, my favorite uniform in the NFL, hands down. Actually, no, I think Pittsburgh's all black with just the gold number, without the white outline, the just solid gold, black with black pants. That uniform is the best looking uniform in football. That shit is amazing because the Jags don't do their all black anymore.
The Falcons do. The Falcons uniform is slick when they go all black, and then they got just like maybe the little red lettering. That shit is slick.
The Jags,
the Chargers powder blues, those are always going to be dope.
Those are incredible. Those are just incredible. But as a total uniform, that Pittsburgh with just the solid numbers, black, and there's no stripes or anything, that shit's amazing. Especially with the black pants with just a gold stripe, because Pittsburgh traditionally wears yellow pants at all times, home and away. Yeah. So when they switched to black, it was just like, oh, those are fucking dope. Now, my favorite uniform of all time, because we got a couple minutes left, and me and my godson were just talking about this shit the other day. Louisville football has an alternate helmet that is maroon, the maroon L on top of a maroon helmet, and it is the dopest looking shit I have ever seen in my entire football fandom. So much so that I was texting everybody, like, you got to have to see this helmet. And Sports Center later on that night, Scott Van Pelt literally had a whole segment about how fucking dope he thought those helmets were. I was just like, I know, look at them. Use those all the time. So it'll be interesting because the NFL, the whole alternate uniform thing is all, let's sell some jerseys. Let's get as many uniforms as we can to sell as many jerseys as possible. So it's dope to see some of them. I do not want to see Pittsburgh break out 4 different uniforms with 3 of them being ugly. I don't want to see Green Bay with that fucking green, gold and blue. It's Green Bay. Why is there blue in it? It's not Blue Bay. It's stupid. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I got nothing else for you. I was trying to stretch that out. I got nothing else. I'm done.
I mean, now I'm just catching some of this game. Phoenix is whooping the shit out of the Lakers right now.
We just talked about, I actually don't see the Lakers, because all right, so we've seen it traditionally with LeBron. It's not like he storms back down a couple games.
Well, AD is also hurt, so.
That's what I'm saying. Traditionally, in these positions where the troops are down and his back against the wall, he will shut it down and he'll be like, fuck it. So if they lose today and go down 3, I'd look for the next game for him to have a terrible game because he has done that before and been like, remember when he punched the wall after J.R. Smith?
Oh, yeah, and he broke his hand.
And then he just didn't even give a fuck after. You saw it the next 3 games. He was like, whatever.
He literally broke his hand.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah. And they were just trying to keep it quiet. But, yeah, I mean, he played, he did to himself that time.
So, quick LeBron question. When he punched the wall and broke his hand, did he fall down and roll around on the ground for 90 seconds?
No, he tried to front that one off.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Because he flops. Stop flopping, LeBron. You're too goddamn big to flop. Stop it. Stop it. I hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it. The Pistons literally used to mug Mike coming down the lane. If you blink at LeBron, he flies into the first row and complains for 15 seconds. It works. I get it. The sportsmanship. I understand it. Tom Brady does that shit all the fucking time. I get it. Mike used to just quietly talk to the ref. Oh, yeah, Mike, if that's what you saw, that's what I saw. You heard the clip. I didn't see it, Mike, but if that's what you say so. And he gave him the call. It's fucking Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You didn't ever see Kobe really complain. He just got that look on his face like...
He would get real pissed. He would get pissed.
And then...
He would smack his hands a lot.
Yeah, the farther out his bottom jaw went... the more it was on. Like, you knew it. If it was all the way out, it was over. This guy's going for 40 straight on you. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Jalen Rose, just sit down. You're giving up 81 tonight. Just take it.
What? Jalen didn't give, to be fair to Jalen, he didn't give up that whole 81. Can't put that whole nugget on him.
I can't, but the interview about it's hilarious, especially the older they get, the where they laugh about it now. Because even Jalen laughs about it. He's just like, well, I'm actually proud to say I was part of that now. But
Devin Booker is cooking tonight.
Yeah, that kid can shoot. Shout out to Devin Booker for surviving the Kardashian curse. This is the one athlete who dated our Kardashian and did not fall off the fucking face of the map.
Yeah. Also, see how huge Chris Paul effect is.
Yeah, everywhere this guy goes, you make it to the playoffs and you win.
Is he hurt again?
Yeah.
Now, well, he hurt his shoulder, but it didn't take him out. Really take him out.
He's hurt again. It's Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul. There's going to be some tragic LaDainian.
But right now he's playing through.
There's going to be a tragic LaDainian Tomlinson injury type situation where he can't finish it out, and we're going to talk about it again next season.
Man, nah, I really like CP3.
He's a Wake Forest product. I love Chris Paul. I'm just telling you, I'm a realist when it comes to this shit. So, Zoom is saying we're over. This blunt is saying we're over. This is perfect timing. You guys, it's good to talk to you. Next week, Chocolate City Bigums. All right. I'm not going to prepare. Fuck them. All right, so, Flea, I appreciate you stopping in. I know you're a little bit late, but it doesn't matter as long as you made it. As you could tell, or you could when the video was up, I'm straight from the golf course to Gray Matter, and now I'm going to go hang out with my dog and eat some food. So I will see you guys on Thursday for Beat Boutique.